Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being so patient. It is finally Flat Earth Friday FringeCast. Walt here, by the hardest. I am joined today by John Savage. Hello, John.
Hello, mate. How are you doing?
I am great, sir. We also have on deck our good friend, the Adam Meakin. Hello, Adam.
Good evening, everybody.
And of course, as always, joined almost at the hip, it would seem, my friend Josh from the Ironworks and Iron Realm Media. Josh, how was the rest of your day, sir?
Oh, F no, I'm not even here. This isn't even happening. This is all jacked up, twisted, sick.
Wow. Well, that's awesome. And now we have a call coming in. Well, in case you guys haven't figured it out, we are having just the most fun this afternoon with Skype. We even had an extra 30-minute window to give them time to forget we were going live, but apparently that just gave them 30 extra minutes to really dig their heels in and screw this thing up 9 ways to Sunday. I'm still not even sure if we're live. Oh, good, live. I see it. Yes. Testing.
Ridiculous. So, yeah, Adam, I didn't hear your intro music at all coming through. So I went with mine. But then we just said F the 30 seconds.
I didn't hear any music either. And I didn't want to say anything because in case it was playing, I'm talking over it. But yeah, what the hell? Yeah, what the hell? What do you expect? It's IRM.
We're on now, I think. Have we got a confirmation in chat we're on? I can see.
We are, I think. We're joined by Mrs. Tesla's Apple and Ranty and yeah, hello you two.
I think I fixed my sound issues now. Does that sound better?
You sound fine.
Absolutely. All right. My goodness, everyone. Well, we're here by the hardest. Fighting tooth and nail. And we had a great show this morning, so I guess 1 out of 2 ain't bad. Somebody call Meatloaf.
Maybe we should do the apologetics then and admit that I'm trying to run the OBS today. So
go right. Explain away.
That
just goes without saying, Adam.
Well,
don't have to do that.
It normally is me that gets blamed, but technically I can be tonight, I think. So.
Are we doing cameras? I saw you on camera. Oh wait, you took it off. Let me hide this.
You are the gremlin. We'll call you Gizmo.
Just checking if things work, but yeah.
Ridiculous.
What we got on this week then?
What have we got this week? Well, the important thing.
All kinds of goodies. Go right ahead, Adam.
Well, it's the main guest who the guys have already had on this morning, haven't they, on IRM? So maybe they're better positioned to do the intro, as you were about to, Walt.
Yeah, I think Walt's got this. You go right
I'm
ahead.
Actually struggling here. I'm suddenly not able to. Hello. Are you hearing me?
Yeah, I can.
I was all that time. I was trying to take my phone microphone off of mute, and it was just spinning, which is usually a sign that
he's gonna crash. There he goes, ladies and gentlemen. Walter's left the building. God, you gotta love it. TGIF, ladies and gentlemen. This is good stuff. So yeah, today we had on the
crash. Sorry, good Lord, I am so sorry. This is ridiculous, guys. I'm gonna stop for a second, just reset. That's all I can say to do at this point.
No, you go reset. I'll do my best to fill people in on what happened this morning. It was really good. We had a fella named Shane Cook on. Shane runs a little YouTube channel you might know. Goes by Ranty with an exclamation point at the end. You always got to make sure you include the exclamation point when searching for Ranty. Ranty, capital R, exclamation point on the end, and be sure to adjust your filters to the channels because for some reason they like to hide them. So he may be a little hard to find if you're not taking extra steps to make sure you're looking for him. So that's what it is. Ranty, capital R-A-N-T-Y, exclamation point. Search for it on YouTube. But anyway, we had him on the Ironworks this morning. Because, well, what he's done is he's done some crazy, weird sorcery. I'm still trying to wrap my brain around this. We talked about this last night, and I was blown away. We had Shane on all morning. It was an hour and a half we had him on, and we just let him go and let him explain it and talk about it. And I'm still just completely amazed at what's actually going on here. So we're all familiar with the sort of the mirror band effect. Well, what he's done with that is absolutely amazing. And as soon as we get him on here, I want to have him explain it to you because he's going to do a far better job than I ever will. So we'll get him on here in just a little bit while Walter resets, and we try to play a little bit of catch up. Yeah, this was really weird.
Yeah, quick hello to Good Times for All and Glowbusters. Sorry, I just stepped all over you there.
No, that's quite all right. It's always good to shout some people out in chat. Because we had
is it possible you can hear me again?
We do hear you.
We can.
Okay. Sorry, guys.
Can we hear you, Adam?
Can you hear me?
Everybody in chat says you sound low, but to me you sound fine.
Can anyone in chat tell us if Adam's sounding okay now?
Do I sound okay, everybody?
I'll get back to you on that one.
So welcome to the first episode of Friday FringeCast. My goodness, this is so just getting old. Whoever makes the Flat Earth video communication app, it will be the bazillionaire.
The one that can incorporate it into
the one that works and never breaks and actually lets you talk and those kind of fun things. But yes, hello Zach, hello Bob, hello Belu, and Mrs. Tesla Apple, and of course Ranty. I see D, Sandy. I'm missing people, I'm sure. Way back. Nemo. Hello everyone. Thank y'all for being patient with us. All right, I'll shut up now that I'm back.
Are we?
Nope.
Almost good.
I think you're still low, Adam. Is that your end, Josh?
Nope.
Because he sounds fine to me. I can hear Adam fine.
That's all Adam and how his projection.
My projection, darling.
It's coming from both Tesla's Apple.
Everybody says he sounds low. There's got to be something going on.
Sounds low, Glowbusters. Yeah, something's screwed up.
Guess what?
Bizarre.
I'm not streaming.
Really?
Phone call. I'm just a guy on Skype, John. I have as much control over Adam's voice as you do.
Oh yeah, you're not streaming, are you? Wait, Adam, sort it out.
I've had a little go. I've turned the mic volume up.
I actually just went and listened to the live stream back, and you're very low.
It's going to be your mic volume on OBS. Just push it up right until it starts to get into the red. Just before it hits that red, that's where you want to stop it.
Hey, Josh, you look like Axl Rose tonight. I'm digging that.
Yeah, well, it's friggin' 90 degrees here.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
You should be used to that in the kitchen.
Yeah, it's May still. It's spring. I'm still getting over winter time. Summer's not here yet. I'm not ready for summertime weather. But it was 91 yesterday. It's at least 90 degrees today.
And I know what you mean. I don't know what 91 is, but we had 37 in the loft the other day, and that's bloody hot for us. Like you say, it's not time for summer yet. We're still in spring, and then today it was so bloody cold. I nearly lit the fire. I was eating soup and all sorts. It was bloody freezing. So I won't make his mind up. Anyway, enough guff.
Earth changes are here.
Yep, every day. Cool weather.
Before we get into our guest, I just so I was talking to a guy just a little bit ago, and he was telling me about he's got a friend, and she's really into like conspiracy theories and sort of those way out there thinking. He added a caveat that she had a brain tumor in her frontal lobe region and had it removed. So I don't know if he was equating with conspiracy theorists with having had frontal lobotomies or exactly what that was. But, she was like all into David Icke and reptilians and all sorts of crazy stuff. I'm like, yeah, I mean, that's not quite really what we do over on our podcast. I said, we get a little out there sometimes, but, we tend to try to stick to the things that we can verify for ourselves. It's like, yeah, that's cool. That's the kind of thing I'm into. Hey, have you ever heard this thing that Donald Trump is really Andy Kaufman. I said, what? Wait just a minute.
I've actually heard that.
This is the first time I'm ever hearing of it. He didn't really have any more information to give, but where in the ever-loving hell did somebody get the idea that Donald Trump is going to be one of Andy Kaufman's characters? Walt, you said you've heard of this. Have you listened or gleaned any sort of information from this?
It passed through my suggested videos. I have not watched it. I kind of felt it was kind of like that whole Alex Jones and Bill Hicks thing. I'm just like, whatever. Don't get me wrong. If anyone could pull it off, it would be Andy Kaufman. But, man, that would be the ultimate mindfuck. Oh, my God.
Who's Andy Kaufman?
Well, that's a bit of a story. He was a comedian in the mid-'70s who his forte was incorporating reality into his comedy, and his whole life was his show. He would be outside struggling with luggage and trying to put in the back of his car and have somebody come up and help him, and like he was an old man, crippled man, and just things like that in life. It wasn't about being on stage and making people laugh. It was about making people have a reaction. And he created these characters that just rubbed people quite the wrong way. His specialty was pissing people off, just getting a reaction. It didn't have to be you didn't have to like him. You just had to have a reaction to what he was doing. There's quite a few awesome documentaries about his little life experiments he did. You should check some of it out, John. It's
Yeah, I will. I'll have a look at that.
And then he died from cancer. But everybody thought that's how much of how much he played his life. People really thought when he told them that he had cancer that he was doing another bit. His friends and family thought it was another bit. That's how incorporated into his life his comedy was. So
interesting.
Yeah. And infamously, REM sings about them in some of their little conspiracy songs. Oh, look, somebody in chat, Ross. There you go. Andy Kaufman in the wrestling match. Yeah.
Anyway,
I
just
just stop your rambling. Shall I?
Yes.
Do my first proper transition.
Let's do it with the nonsense, the Andy Kaufman nonsense. Jeez.
I wasn't implying that, although I have no idea who Andy Kaufman is. But I'm sure
And to the listeners, we'll see you after we crash.
Are you ready? So I thought we'd start then with the this morning poll. I don't know if that's going to pop up, but me and John, I think we've all been chatting about it, haven't we, and keep checking the score, etc. So I just thought I'd give people an update. It's still 17%, but 36.8 thousand to 37,000.
What's that in relation to per head in the UK?
Well, it's 17%. There's virtually 37,000 people have voted. So
that's right, gotcha.
That's a really good sample size. It's so it's about 6,300 people.
Out of 36,000. That's it wouldn't have been like that 2 years ago.
No, nowhere near that.
I was talking to Gary about it, and he was telling me that the video itself, that ITV's got over 1.7 million views now, so pretty cool, I think.
But that's views of the edited, chopped up interview they did, where they didn't include Gary's challenge to mainstream science, isn't it? So it's a bit of a moot point, though.
Well, I think it's 1.7 million people that have looked at it and might, say small percentages might go and look and carry on. The point is, it's growing, isn't it? As you said, that those figures a year ago would be unthinkable, wouldn't they? It's just nice to see the snowball rolling a bit.
I'll be optimistic on this one then. It's good. That's brilliant.
Adam, you bumped your volume up on OBS, correct? For your microphone?
Where's that button then?
It's going to be right there in the middle towards the bottom. It's going to be the audio mixer. And it should have a list like desktop audio, and then it should be mic 1, whichever one your microphone is. It's the one that'll move. The green will bounce up back and forth whenever you talk.
Yeah. It's one that goes up and down when you talk, mate.
Left to right.
Just bang it up a bit.
I'll tell you what, I might have to bloody try.
Are you on Iron Realm 1?
No, I'm on 3. We're on 3, mate. We've got some new bits.
So open up your OBS and go to the bottom graphic equalizer and turn it up. The one that says mic/aux.
Yeah, I've done all that.
Shall I sing a song while you guys work this out? Oh my goodness!
Right.
Not really.
How's that?
No.
That might be a little bit better. I've had to revert to the headphones. So
let the chat tell us whether
the chat.
Well, because you sound fine to us because you're
I
coming
know,
over
that's what I
Skype.
don't get. You sound great to us, but
It's
through
OBS.
Skype. It's OBS giving us the issue. So
Because we're running Skype into OBS and then OBS out to everybody else. So OBS takes control over his mic specifically because it's to the computer that OBS is using. So it separates Skype's audio from us and him. And his audio is low.
And they thought getting to the moon was hard work.
Right.
Jeez. Rocket science.
Sound engineering is
Bloody
always
hell.
hard.
Crazy.
Right, well, I'll carry on regardless anyway. So there was just a couple of bits on that. I've mentioned Gary that just to give a shout out in terms of conference updates. He says the debate section is going to be released in the next 3 days or so, and they're also aiming to start work on the rest of the presentation video soon. So hopefully within a couple of weeks, maybe a bit more, they'll all be available for everybody to just go and watch all the presentations from the conference. And then I suppose the other bit of news he's got is the proposed conference for next year in Amsterdam 2019. So scheduled for late April, early May. But I think DD is currently in negotiations with a number of interested parties. So see where we go from there. And I think the only other thing Gary was saying, which was to come out of the conference, the physicist debate, is making further inquiries to hopefully kind of further that, I think, so which I think could be quite interesting. Gary. Excuse me.
Got a frog in your throat, mate?
Just don't know. Gary, whether that's a frog or not. Yeah, so there you go. That's just my little shout out from the conference over with, guys. I don't know if...
And apparently from Mrs. Tesla Apple, you are still being barely heard. They can barely understand what you're saying, Adam. My goodness, guys, this is frustrating. I'm so sorry.
Let me try this.
Josh to the rescue.
Little bits of technology we do use. It's kind of hit and miss, but at least we got that down.
I had pressed that button, Josh, but it looked confusing, to be fair.
It does look like you're pretty low. Let me I can boost you up a little bit here.
In the meantime, we had a great show this morning. An amazing show. Everybody in chat's all excited. Ranty's there in chat, kind of basking in his accolades, and it's awesome, dude. The work he has done has been just mind-blowing, and this new hack of looking under the veil is just, yeah, I can't wait to show them. The issue is, not sure if we're going to be able to show you guys everything because of the fun we're having here.
I think we'll be able to show it. Adam, what do you think? We'll be able to screen share, yeah?
Oh yeah, we're all good for that. It's just
no audio.
No.
This is okay. Well, there we go.
No,
Nope.
you should have audio through stuff. It's just me that's quiet. I think that's the only issue.
When
Bob said
Ranty
reverse
comes
the power
up,
coupling to the warp core. You have to climb through the Jeffries tube.
Can
There you
he
go.
change the laws of physics, Bob?
well, when Ranty comes on, he can share his own screen, can't
Right. Maybe we can hear him.
he? Maybe love assistant.
We can hear Adam again. We're having no problem. It's the output.
Tells us it's Adam. That's
Yeah.
the problem.
It's never a bad thing me having to be quiet. So
Put your headset on.
I've got it on. Got it on.
Well, turn the volume up then.
I don't need to hear you louder, do I?
All right, Mrs. Tesla said she can hear you. Is that correct, Mrs. Tesla Apple? And now dead silence as we all wait for the response.
No, you've gone quiet.
Interactive
Well,
television at its best.
I'm fine.
Okay,
Josh,
Dave
you sorted it
said-
out.
Sounds
Okay.
like you're good.
Yes, it sounds like we're good, Josh. You did it. Josh, everybody know that without a doubt, Josh is that guy.
You see. What a guy.
Let's bring on the other that guy.
Yeah, would we please? Because
Yeah.
I can fuck it up just as good as I can fix it.
There we go.
Shall we
Well, then, shall we?
give Ranty a shout? Are you ready, Ranty? Shall we?
I've got it. I'm doing it.
Are you on it?
I'm on it, sir.
But now, Adam, you see OBS?
Yeah.
So this on this side right here, this is what everybody's seeing. Everybody's watching Norb's World.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
nobody's
baby.
seeing that.
No. I switched it over.
Noah's World. Good stuff.
As an entertainment whilst I messed around.
Gotcha. See, then why don't I just shut the F up?
A little teaser since we brought Norb up. I talked to him yesterday in an email or in a text, and he is working on a new album with all kind of truth and matrix and hidden stuff in it. So everybody get excited. I am. There's more, but we'll tell you that later. Tease.
How do?
Evening,
There.
dude.
Welcome, Shane.
Glad to be here. I heard I went to the toilet and I came back, plugged my earphones in, and heard some noise. I thought
And
that
here
has
you
to be.
are.
Has to be those
It's
guys calling me.
Well, for today's show, there could be no more appropriate entrance than straight from the toilet, because that's pretty much where we are right now. My God.
That is, we are noises from the toilet. Hello, Ranty. Savage here.
Howdy, Savage. You alright?
Yeah, good. Glad we can actually hear you.
If I sound a little bit giddy, that's probably because I've had about 6 beers, so you'll
Good
have
lad.
to. It is coming to the weekend. Although I do have work tomorrow because I took the day off today.
Thank you so much again.
Ouch.
Well, it's hard work, mate, being in demand, isn't it? I assume it's.
Well, to be fair, I did need an actual day off because I hadn't had a proper day off for I think it was about 3.5 weeks, so I was due one anyway.
I'm glad we could oblige.
All right, Adam, let me know if you need me again.
You're a gentleman and a scholar, sir. I reserve that right.
But not for the next 2 minutes because I'm going to go get coffee.
No worries, bro.
Coffee sounds good.
Adam, you're the one that's been keeping your finger on the pulse with everything that's been going on over at Oakley's channel with Ranty and everything. So we have Ranty here. What is it you're up to, mate?
Yeah, well,
Who?
maybe we'll do an introduction, Ranty, just for in case anybody who's not familiar with who you are, what you've been doing, what's led you to why we've asked you. Well, the 2 reasons why we've asked you to come on tonight. We'd asked him to come on just to do some decent work you discovered recently, hadn't you, in terms of refraction zones, etc. And then it was a nicely timed request because you hit on lifting the veil. or the duvet, wherever we want to describe it. But Ranty's is kind of synonymous with a lot of the work that Nathan and Riley's been doing at the Isle of Man. He's been there with the guys loads, done lots of support footage based on, you know, from Anthony's original photos, and recently, you know, just been churning out tons and tons of high quality evidenced photographs as well, and we'll probably get to see some of the evidence and how well the photographs are evidenced in terms of what they're demonstrating later on. So
well, thanks for the introduction there, and Adam, that was much welcome, trust me.
There was a bit more smoke blowing, but you interrupted me, so unfortunately you've done that.
No, I wasn't interrupting. I was just.
I mean, for me, dude, the reason I wanted to get you on as well was because, you know, it's not your channel. You've got your own channel and that, but I think you kind of, whenever you get on Nathan's channel, you do produce good quality work, and I think you tend to just get attacked for that one time when you got a sunburn from chemtrails, and it tends to detract, I think, from the high quality work you've been putting out, mate. I think it's really good, like I say, really good evidence stuff, and hopefully you can show some of the people that what is a kind of a culmination of a lot of the hard work you've put in, because you don't go out and just pull this stuff out your backside.
Well, yeah, I mean, you'll probably be aware that I used to have a channel that got shut down some months ago when I started talking about the Las Vegas shootings. So I had a lot more get up and go at that time to produce the work, and I'd put a lot of effort into the videos to make it all look nice and pretty. And then when that channel got shut down and I had to start up again, I ended up with going onto Nathan's channel, who used to be, let's say, we weren't the best of friends originally, and over time, with Anthony's help, you know, we've become pretty close friends. You know, I mean, he's a decent guy. I think I speak to him every single day. So it seemed only logical that because he has the greater reach and has the subs, far more subs than I have, then that I can show this work on his channel, and it brings it to a greater audience. So I haven't been uploading a lot of the stuff that I've presented on his show, simply because, you know, the subs, I don't have the subs that he has, and I don't have the reach that he has. But just recently I stumbled on something very good that was worth putting on my channel, and sort of like, you know, let's just get it out there and see if other people can repeat what I did. Because I know Anthony Riley did. He did it prior to me, and I did his technique and was astounded at the results.
So
intriguing.
I think.
Well, essentially, it's you know, every time you look over a body of water, you always seem to see the boat or the distant turbines or the distant land always being refracted or bent or twisted. Sometimes you have inferior mirages, sometimes you have fata morganas. You know, it's prevalent everywhere you go. And what Anthony did was, about a week and a half ago, he went back to St. Bees and looked at the northern tip of the Isle of Man again. So panning from the south, he looked to the north, but he did it from an elevation of about a foot. And it was astounding, because I've been to that location, and the only time I was able to see the northern part of the island was from about an elevation of about 40 feet. So for him capturing
Anthony's one, is that, I assume that's the one that was presented at the conference, and the one that's humiliated Rumpus and his predictions. That
yes, yeah. Basically, he went down to a foot in. He dug his camera into the sand, and he looked across at over 30 miles to the Isle of Man, and he was able to capture this the northern part of the Isle of Man, which is like 250 feet in height. It should have been 700 feet beyond the curve. So what he produced was, and when he showed it to me, I mean, I was gobsmacked, and the fact that he held on to it for as long as he could to produce it at the conference was inspiring, and it got a lot of good reviews. And what I did was I took that technique as such. I don't know whether I did it intentionally, because I didn't go along to purposely go along and lower my camera to 1 foot in elevation and look at the Barrow in Furness, but it was a relatively still day, the same conditions that Anthony had when he saw the northern part of the Isle of Man, and I was stood right by the water. I'd lowered my camera tripod to the lowest possible point that it could go, and whilst I was just looking over at the Barrow in Furness, I zoomed in, standing up, holding it at 5.5 feet, and again, the camera interacted with that refraction zone, and everything was blurred on the horizon. And for whatever reason, I don't know why, but I kept the camera rolling and lowered my elevation to about 1 foot, and looked across at Barrow in Furness, and suddenly, everything was in view. And it seems that lowering your elevation under those certain conditions allows you to sort of like bypass that layer of refraction, in a sense, go underneath the refraction zone, lifting the blanket, lifting the veil, whichever you choose to call it, and sort of like cheat. And
that's really interesting.
Cheat the atmospherics and see underneath the refraction zone, and see across 18 miles of flat Earth, and seeing everything down to the sand dunes, the individual buildings, things that you can easily identify. Yeah.
Can we maybe, for the benefit of people that don't know where this is, as we were saying the other day, maybe get you screen sharing, and maybe
sure.
If you could maybe set the scene, show where this is in the UK. I see Doomer's in the chat. Evening, Doomer. He was asking where I was. I've been quiet earlier. Evening, Candy. Maybe if you could just give a little show of where it is in the UK, and then also where exactly the viewpoint. Just bear with me, and I'll get you screen sharing, mate. Another little challenge.
That is very odd, though, isn't it? You would expect that the closer you got to the water level, the worse it would get, the more distorted it would get. That's quite a weird anomaly you discovered there.
It's kind of like counterintuitive to what you would expect. I mean, not only have you got your field of view that you can only see a certain distance, but like you say, you expect to encounter the heavy atmospherics right down at the water level. And the last thing you expect to see is, just like in a vacuum of just clear air.
Do you think this was just an atmospheric anomaly on the day, or it's have other people tested it to the point where they get the same sort of results?
The fact that I only know of 2 people that have done it in the last 2 weeks, and that's Anthony Riley from A Foot at the Isle of Man, and myself. Doesn't mean that other people haven't done it, but it means that I'm not aware of it.
I'll have to go back and redo my experiments and try it lower down, I think.
But putting it out there and perhaps suggesting that under right conditions that this is possible. I'm not going to say it's going to happen every time. There's probably 9 times out of 10 you'll go along and it's not going to happen. But for whatever reason, the one time that I tried it, I was able to see it, and the one time Anthony did it, again, he was able to see it. So
yeah, that's interesting. I mean, I can't imagine. Yeah, like you say, it is. There is no standard refraction, as some people are trying to promote.
Unless, of course, Lancashire's really flat around there, you know what I mean? It could be unusually flat, that area. That's the only other...
Well, that's possible, but I always believe that water must conform to gravity. So we're always told that the reason that the water sticks to the earth is because we're on a ball, so it sticks to gravity being the shape of the earth, etc., you know, blah blah blah. So the water must bend, you know. There's no way you can have flat water on their model. On a ball earth, you cannot have flat water. It's impossible. So that's why a lot of people like Flat Earth Core that are going out there, and FE Core that are going out and doing these experiments over lakes and stuff, you know, they're doing it because they know that if they can disprove the curvature over water, they can disprove the ball, essentially.
Yep.
Right. Crack on, son.
So
Yeah.
am I sharing?
Yeah, you're ready to go. I'll put your big screen.
I was about to check to see how that was going. I was all over in the chat myself.
Big shout out to Dave Marsh, by the way.
Everybody. Yeah, lots of people in chat, man. I don't even want to start listing because I'll forget somebody, and I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. I see all of you, and it's been great hanging out and chatting with y'all. So having Adam take the wheel is awesome for a minute.
Again, just bear with me, because if I do... Hello? Are you guys there?
Yep,
right, so,
absolutely. I'm seeing
so,
it.
yeah,
Are they seeing it is the question. I'm going back to look.
Yeah, it's all good. I've got it.
It is good? Okay,
it's
thank
all
you,
good, right, okay. So here we have, this is Great Britain, and obviously, you know, Ireland, United Kingdom, this is Wales, England, and Scotland. So
yes.
I live in this little peninsula here. I just live outside Blackpool. It's a place called Poulton, which is here. And I've been driving down to this location, which is called Ankersholme, where it's just outside of Thornton Cleveland. It's between Bisbee and Thornton. It's called Ankersholme Slipway. And I've been viewing, well, from there, you can actually see Barrow-in-Furness. You can actually see the Isle of Man, which I have actually evidenced in my recent videos. And you can see the mountains of Wales, which are 65 miles away. Now, obviously, some of these mountains you should be able to see anyway because of the height on a bore model, but there are some mountains, in fact a lot of mountain ranges that you shouldn't see. So anyway, I digress. There's two locations.
That's a fair point, Shane, that when we're talking about the volume of stuff, and you can see there all the points you've triangulated and pinpointed and spent hours, you know, making sure you've got everything. Don't make that. You know I mean? You deserve to shout out the level of work you're putting in, and you can see here. But
on my old hard drive, which I only replaced about 3 weeks ago, so I've actually got it in the cupboard up right above me now. I have all the wind turbines, or in this entire area, all panned out to their exact meter. So if ever I got confused where I was, or the exact location, or the GPS wasn't working, I could actually work out the turbines that I was looking through. And yeah, I mean, so there was a lot more work I used to do. This is a new hard drive, so it's all fresh. That's why there's not a lot of stuff on here, but I thank you for that. Yeah.
Do you know if we've got any watchers or flat earthers from the Isle of Man?
Yeah, there was a couple of guys that came onto Nathan's chat. There's a couple of guys that I've been talking to, and well, not from the there have been from the Isle of Man. I haven't spoken to them recently, but I know there's a few guys in Ireland that are looking over at the Isle of Man from the other direction. So, whereas we've been looking at it from this location that way, they've been looking at it from this location this way. And again, they're seeing, you know, a lot lower than they should do. Yeah, a lot lower. Yeah. So basically, I went along to this location here. Well, this location, I think, for the first week, and then I moved locations further. Once I realised that I was seeing way lower in this location, right? And I decided to move further away to see, you know, okay, how far can I push the boundaries of what I'm seeing? So when I went to this location, this was the exact spot that I took the images from. It was this spot here, not these, but this spot. And we looked over at Barrow here. So I'll just turn the camera slightly. You have a little lighthouse that's there. You have you have these ruins of Peel Island, Peel Castle, which is here on Peel Island, and in the background you have things like, well, it's actually Barrow and Furness Town Centre, and you have the Barrow Town Hall, and you have the steeple which is behind it. So there's the town hall, which is the clock tower, which looks like so, with a little clock face on it. And behind that, from this line of sight, you would have the steeple, which is behind it here. And there's all sorts of individual buildings, like these buildings here are evidenced in the images and the videos, along with where are they? These ones here and these ones here.
And how far away are they?
Well, to this one here, it's 18 miles. To the church, to the clock tower, it's 18 miles, and to the steeple, it's 18.5 miles. So all these are envisaged in the still shots and the video.
Cool. So a fair distance.
It's a fair distance from 1 foot in elevation. It's an astounding capture, basically, because
it's an impossibility on a ball is the real important point.
Yeah.
And maybe before we look at the images, then maybe just quick look at the ball maths, as it were.
Oh, right. Well, I think firstly what I'll do is from this location here, which was slightly nearer. I think it was about 1.5 miles nearer than the location that I took the 1 foot elevation from. I was on the ramp here, so the line of sight is slightly different. So when I'm looking from this location, obviously the town hall and the spire are going to have swapped over positions just because of the line of sight. So it's going to be slightly different, but again, you'll get a good idea of the topography of the land. So I'd like to present that actually. Here it's about 60 feet. I was about 60 feet above sea level here.
Cool.
It was really low tide, and I was right on the high point here. So I was about 60 feet up. So everything that I saw in these images, I should have seen on the curve calcs. So if I try and find what I'm looking for, just bear with me. Barrow images and video, there we go. So I'll start with this top line, which is basically all the stuff from the near position that I was showing you. So from an elevation of 60 feet, we have things like these chimneys. There's 3 chimneys that are stuck together here. The other one's on the other side of these 2, and they're taped together. This is buildings that are 150 feet tall. You have the corrugated irons, and you have this sandbank, which is quite prevalent, and it will become quite evident that this is an important feature because we do see it from the 1 foot elevation. If you notice also that, well, in Blackpool you have sea walls that go around. In Barrow you have these sand dunes that go around, so they're like the sea wall. So on the next image and the next image, you can see this sea wall. It continues. It's obviously a natural seawall, natural barrier, and it protects the buildings behind it. So we have some houses that are down here, but you can't see the front door and you can't see the windows, but you can see the chimneys, and you can tell that the buildings are actually set below the height of this sand dune, which is typical of the same as Blackpool as well, because the seawall is quite high. It's about, I would say, 35 feet, 40 feet high, and then it drops down the other side, and you have obviously the road and the buildings on the other side of it. So it's just the same as that, but it's a natural barrier, and it goes all the way along. Like you'd never see the bottom of this lighthouse, for instance, because this is the house that adjoins onto the lighthouse, so you can just see the tops of it here, but you would never see the bottom of it because this sand dune is in the way. And it's like a sea wall.
That's bizarre, isn't it? Do you think that the people that live in those houses, that they can see the sea, or
No,
it'd be interesting to go.
From
That'd
the
be
top
so
window.
weird, wouldn't it? Like living, so close to the sea and not being able to see it. It'd be interesting. Go there and actually see what they see.
Well, it's pretty much the same with the sand dunes in Blackpool. You have sand dunes. I'm trying to find them now. Like these are the sand dunes of Blackpool here. Can you see you can see all the sand here in the road on this side, right? So you have buildings here, and you've got the road, and then you've got the sand dunes that here. Maybe the man will show you the. Actually, yeah, you'll be able to see it. So if I show you the sand dunes from the other side. So this is the natural defences of Blackpool. This is like, this is the sand dunes that are in the way before you get to the sea. The ocean's on the other side. And you have the houses here that are vulnerable should these sand dunes ever get penetrated, which they won't, because they're just the natural defences of the UK, basically, in certain locations. So fortunately, Barrow is protected by these sand dunes, whereas Blackpool itself has to have a seawall. So, they have the seawall here. Let's put a man here and show you the seawall, perhaps, if we can see it. So yeah, so you've got you can see part of the seawall here, and the steps that go up to it, and the railings at the top, and on the other side there's the drop. So all this is kind of like raised up, and this is the seawall.
And that's mounted, on sort of a 6-foot mast on top of a car as well, on top of a Google car too. So yeah, no, that's just quite interesting. That.
Okay.
Just seeing the rooftops of those buildings.
Oh, here. Yeah.
Yeah. And the fact that you will never see the bottom of that lighthouse because there is a physical barrier in the way.
The important point is you can't. The buildings are cut off, but what you can see is the bottom of the sand dunes. So
yes. Well,
it's just like another building in front of the building you're looking at, but you can see the bottom of the sand dunes. So,
well, if you pay attention to this hump, this kind of sand dune hump here, which is far lower than this corrugated aisle, roof. So we've got I think this is about 200 feet tall, this chimney stack, so I believe. I might be wrong, it might be a slightly higher, maybe 220 or something. This is 150 feet, and then obviously we're down to sea level. So bearing in mind that the bottom of this building is situated lower than the sand dunes in front, and we have this hump in the way, this will become an important feature, because we see that, and pay attention to this building as well, and how it looks, with the roof and it's all one colour sort of thing. There's nothing in the way. It's all one colour. And
what's the distance that we're looking at here?
Again, I think this is. Let's see. Actually, it's about 16 miles, but the elevation is about 60 feet. So sure. I should see this. From what I think, I should actually see this.
So Anthony, you want to get Anthony's viewpoint on this, so to speak? He's in chat. Was wondering if maybe he wanted to send him over a link.
Oh right, okay. Yeah. Does Adam?
You buggers! You're stressing me out, man. I'm on virgin territory.
I'll do it.
No. The game's on. Game's on.
Okay, and one other thing that I really want to share with you guys is this rock that's in it's by the side of the water, basically. It's very prevalent, and it will be shown in the images later. And because we're moving down the coast, this spire moves onto the left-hand side of this church. So, this sort of like clock face. So, because we're moving down the coast, this moves slightly over here, and this rock formation here will move in front of this building, or just to the lower part of it here.
That's called parallax, isn't it?
Parallax.
So any globers that are watching?
So we've got some parallax going on. But look at this, yeah. This building's fantastic, right? It's a curved building, and I'll show it you on, hopefully, if I can find it in a minute, on Google Earth.
You've got P900, have you?
I have, yes.
Right, yeah. Well, that's fantastic.
The design of this building is interesting because it looks like there's two buildings, you know, like one behind the other. You've got two sides on it, but it's all one building, and this is just like a design feature to the side of it. And if you look at we're essentially looking in the same direction here. So we have these houses that are in front of this. So this kind of like, it's like an extended R. You know, if you was writing an R and you put a big, you know, it would look like this. So this is also interesting to see because again we see this from the 1 foot elevation. Now bear in mind that none of this town, nothing of this should be seen from 1 foot. Not a single thing.
Is this the one that's 18 miles away, Ranty?
It is.
Now, where have we heard 18 miles before mentioned? Which infamous ball earther quotes his work? Yeah, soundly shows Pontchartrain at 18 miles. So if Pontchartrain is shown at 18 miles and it's as bendy as a basketball, then this should be consistent, right?
Indeed.
Save that Pontchartrain link for later, Riley. That's a fantastic link for in a bit, mate.
Hello, Tony, by the way.
Shall we do a quick look at the maths?
Yeah, okay. Let's do some mathematics.
And then let's play your video, I think, then, as soon as we've done that, because I think that's enough teasing. I think people have got a good idea of what we're looking at. Hopefully we'll see the impossibility from ball maths of what we're supposed to, or what we can't see. Even if
18 miles is Pontchartrain. We've all seen his bridge work. Let's see how it's supposed to look.
Right, so these are the two points that I want to reference. The first is the flat Earth position, which is the drop of 216 feet, which is essentially, if you have the radius of the Earth, and mathematically it should be over a view height of 1 feet of 18 miles, the physical drop from the foot of your foot to the 18-mile position in a straight line would be 216 feet. The ball Earth position it would be 187, would be hidden. And if they want to include
no.
I'm just going to play devil's advocate.
No, that's just nonsense. Why are you coming on here talking nonsense? I've just said what a rational man you are. Now you're just making stuff up.
Ranty, you've missed the bulge bit. You haven't addressed the bulge.
I'm not bothered about bulge.
Yeah,
I might be bothered. Actually, to be fair, yes, I will be bothered about bulge actually, because that is, you don't see it in the image, do you? So there's not a single ounce of bulge. So 54 feet of bulge. So as we go around this magical ball, we should have a bulge of water that rises up 54 feet between myself and the objects I'm trying to see. So, okay, so let's concentrate on these 2 points here. The hidden, which is the lowest value of 187 feet. And if we go to, let's go to...
Ranty, whilst here, can I be a bore and just interrupt there? You're talking, Bulge, and whilst Riley's here, who had his camera on the sand, when you're taking these shots, you're hoping for it to be straight, but do you find that maybe you're slightly leaning the camera upwards or downwards?
I've always found that it's up.
Yeah,
they all argue that it's down, but it really isn't.
No, and I thought from the sand you'd have a good right. Well, in which case then, from the pure mathematics of it, the bulge can only occur if you tilt it away from the flat horizontal and downwards. If you're tilting it up, it totally negates any supposed bulge that's created by your direct line of sight to the horizon, which is what the bulge creates. So by the fact that you've got the camera on an upward angle negates actually the bulge as well, but we can give it him quite easily.
Ranty, do you agree it feels like it's up when you're doing it?
Yes, I do actually. Yeah. Well, the top of this building, so to the very, it has some little crown features on the top, which is way higher than the actual clock face. But to the top of that is 164 feet, right?
That clock face is important though, isn't it? I mean, looking how
here?
far that clock face is from the top of the tower. Just kind of remember that for later, because that's crucial.
Yeah, it is actually. Yeah, pay attention to the design features of it. But to the top of that is 164 feet, and we've already decided from a 1 foot elevation at 18 miles that the hidden would be 187, right? The actual drop is 216. So none of this should be seen, nothing at all. And we know from the images that I've just showed you that that is actually the tallest building in the area. It's actually higher than the steeple. I can perhaps go through that if I really want to, but you can see that it's higher than the steeple. So none of this should be seen, essentially nothing, right? But pay attention to this rock. So what would you like me to show next?
Where the rock is in relation to the beach.
I don't know where that is. I've not been over there to identify it.
Is it not on Google Earth? Can you not pick it out on Google Earth?
I haven't been able to, no. I'll tell you what I will do though. I'll start with this. This is kind of like,
I was going to say,
this is,
no, just if we go, let's go to the main footage now so people understand it. And if you can just premise the footage that what you're going to see first and what you're going to see second, because that will then lend to it.
Okay.
I think this we can discuss. This will be good, guys.
well, this was filmed on the same day, so I mean it was filmed maybe 20 minutes before I actually filmed the other stuff. What we're seeing is a lot of refraction going on in this area. So I'll show you the next video, which is, there's the sea wall from the other side, guys, if you're interested. You know, so we're looking at the man-made sea wall, which is here, as opposed to the sand dunes that would be protecting Barrow. And
that's interesting. It's almost as if we need weather forecasts with refraction rates on them, not just solar UV rates and pollen counts and things. It's like we need today's a positive refraction day, or today's a negative refraction. That'd be great.
What are you going to have? What are you going to have then? As like you've got you both. Is it going to be 15 Ranties today or 15 Rileys? What's the?
Yeah, so instead of the foot scale, we'll have the Riley scale.
So let's start a new fight.
Okay, well this is the footage. So we've got some very, very low swell going on. The ocean's quite still, and I think you can see how close I actually am to the sea. You can see the ripples that are just trickling up to here. I mean, if I play the video, you'll see where my tripod is, which is there.
You're at least 100 feet above the sea there, Ranty.
Would you say that's 100 feet?
At least.
Okay. Essentially, I'm next to the sea, and I'm holding the camera at my chest right now, and I'm looking over, and I'm going to pause it right there. I'm looking over at Barrow, and we have a boat in the foreground, which you can clearly see is cresting the water. In fact, it has the nose cone underneath the boat, which is designed to sort of like break the water before the boat, and you can actually see that. But what's interesting is that you can see mirror images of individual buildings. So we've got a building here that's mirroring itself. We have a light there and a light there that's refracting. All this mirroring that's going on throughout the entire image. So if somebody said to you, well, what we're looking at here, it would just be a smudge. You know, you wouldn't be able to essentially identify anything apart from that you're seeing stuff, but you don't know what it is. Now, the ballers would always argue, well, that's the curve of the Earth, man. You know, it's the curve of the Earth. It's, clearly it's the curve of the Earth. But what we'll see later in the video, it's only a 3-minute video, so I might, 3-minute video, so I might just let it play.
Yeah, let's start the whole thing and just play it from the beginning, mate. It's worth just taking a moment and watching.
Yeah, you're at the right point now. Let it play.
Well, no, I've not lowered my elevation yet.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Just let it play.
Yeah.
So I'm at 5 feet elevation here, and I'm holding the camera right by the water. So we're seeing a lot of refraction. And now what I'm doing is I'm talking in the video, and I'll lower I'll literally get down as low as I can, holding the camera because it's got a twisty viewfinder that you can look into, and I'm holding it about a foot above the water right now. And when I zoom in this time, everything clears up. We do have some small refraction going on at the top, but everything that's lower, all the low stuff, all the low buildings are all absolutely intact. So there's the boat again. We're going to see the town of Barrow and the clock and the spire and everything, all the other buildings around it, which is just now.
Look how flat that water surface is.
And yeah, again, look where's the 46-foot bulge?
And where's the mirroring? There's no
where's the mirroring?
Mirroring.
We've essentially gone below the mirroring, the mirroring layer, and
mirror band, you mean?
Yeah, and this is what the images are astounding. In the images, you can actually the video quality is good, but the images are far better.
You said something about the bottom of the boat has a thing protruding out the bottom of it. You can see it if you back up like 10 seconds. You can see that on the boat, can't you?
Yep.
Whereas I don't think you could see that before.
I think it's called a bow breaker, isn't it?
Bow breaker, perhaps, yeah. And what I'll do now is I zoom out, and look how low I am. I zoom out and I show a shadow. I show my shadow to show you that I'm actually crouching. That's what I do first. There you go. I'm crouching. Look, I'm crouching right down. And there's my tripod. It's set to about 17 inches. And then I stand up and I show you that I was actually crouching down at the time.
Could you just pause it
and then basically I crouch back down again and say, right, I'm going to stop the video and take some images now from
just pause it a sec for us there, Ranty. And because again, people might think you're a bit mental, pal. Oh, I'm crouching down and I'm going to show my shadow like you're some kind of this kind of behaviour is born out of the nonsense that you guys went through in terms of observer height over the Isle of Man stuff, isn't it? It's kind of, like I alluded to earlier, you really do evidence the photos really well, and it's kind of born out of the, as you heard there, Anthony, it's kind of born out of the nonsense you guys went through, isn't it?
Yeah, but also the detail that you're going to is making this sort of experiment repeatable. So anyone can go to exactly where you've gone to, and that they can lie on the ground themselves if they want and try exactly the same thing. This is what science is all about. It's about repeatability.
Correct.
And I'll say now.
Don't forget though, this has happened simply because the ballers didn't accept whatever the elevations were in question at the time, which they were in question. It went on for weeks. It was so much so that we went back with tape measures, and we went back several times, and we all got different measurements each time we went. But
this is what you got to do, though, isn't it? And this is what you got to do, because that is science. You know, you're going to put forward a hypothesis and your evidence, and people are going to go, "Nah, bollocks. The cord is hanging on your gyro, or you're not 30 feet, you're 31 feet, or whatever." So it's what you've got to do to an extent.
That's why that was the main reason why they said get down to the beach and get the same observation done. But what's really interesting in my case is that the horizon that I did replicate was converged. It was squashed. Now I don't see an explanation for that on the ball Earth model. But on the flat Earth model, whatever the map may be, it converges and it compresses at the horizon because of perspective. Everything that goes towards the horizon squashes, and that's what I saw. And I didn't. It was that compressed. I didn't actually recognise it initially, even though I knew what I was looking at. It didn't. It was that bad. They all interpreted it as the curvature of the Earth, but I didn't. I saw it as compression straight away, but I wasn't expecting it. So when I saw that
by compression, what I mean for those who haven't, squashed, yeah.
Yes,
but I mean that's quite a common phenomenon, isn't it? It's angular resolution and that sort of thing. It's
but if we're on a flat plane though, that should squash compression, right? But on a ball, there would be no explanation for it.
Right, got you. Yeah, totally.
So obviously this has resulted as a result of that. I went down and got as low as I could get, and I matched the observation, but it was compressed. Now, I've had it to the point where one of the guys, or one of the protagonists, Slice Barcane, he was one of the ones that said, go back and get it from the beach, Riley, go back and get it from the beach. And now when I've gone back and got it from the beach, he's literally got a Nelson's eye on it. He can't see it. And even the Rumpus can see it. Even Jeremy can see it. And he called me a liar. He made a whole series about me lying.
But I've heard of that guy, yeah.
I think what you can see from that picture there, guys, is, as we were talking about the maths earlier, is that, you know, any gent who goes down to the beach with his P900 on the beach, you've not got to be concerned about a bulge at all.
No, you just got to be concerned about the tide, you know, like the waves, the cresting waves, and how clear a day it is. I mean, nobody's ever said, like everybody says on a clear day you can see Blackpool Tower, right? Nobody's ever said on a day of favourable refraction you can see Blackpool Tower. Everyone says it on a clear day, and that's what you need. You need a clear day and you need a flat sea.
Simple as that.
Let's go back to you, Ranty. Carry on, bruv.
Okay. So this was the next image. This is DCN 3702. So the video was 3701. So this is the first image that I took from the crouched position after I sat back down again and took it from a foot. So we're going to look over here at the actual town centre of Barrow-in-Furness. Now, you remember the sand dune that was in the foreground, and it actually tapers off just here, and there's the rock. There's the rock that I pointed out before. There's the building behind it, the two-sided building with the rooftop, and there's the clock. There's the spire. You know, it can be seen. Also, if we look over to this side, we have this is the start of the refraction zone, which is up here. So these two windows on this building, right, look at this corrugated iron, sort of like jaggedy stuff going on here. Can you see that? Is this showing quite well on your screens? Can you see this corrugated iron here?
It's pushing up as well, isn't it? You can see just.
Well, no. That's how the buildings are. I'll show you an image of an earlier image of this. So this is the buildings. Can you see the corrugated irons? The waviness.
Yep.
Yeah. And you can see that this building has two windows on the side.
Right. And then it's got four of the other one, isn't it?
And it's got four on the other one. Yeah. Now, it gets even better. It really does get an awful lot better. You can see that the mountain is refracting on itself just here. So you know that the mirror band is just where you'd expect it to be.
Have we got a name for that mountain? But I've got a suggestion whilst you mention that, Ranty, the mountain there. Is that Orwin's Mount?
Probably we can call it Arwen's Mount if you like.
I'm thinking he deserves a shout out. He did. I listened to him spot that live, and I thought that was it.
He would actually like that.
I believe its proper name is Blackcomb.
No, it's just Orwin's Mount.
Okay.
On flat Earth, it's going to have to be called Orwin's Mount from now on, I reckon.
This is great data, though, Ranty. Really good. Really good.
Well, look at
comparisons.
Look at this sand dune. Does this remind you of anything in the way? Let me open it up in. Let's open it up in Paint.net. This image, and we'll just do a little bit of adjustments on it. We'll do some brightness and contrast, so we're not actually fudging too much. So actually, we'll go lower a little bit. Put a bit of contrast on it. So maybe do a little bit more. So this is kind of like a live. Okay, so we'll save it as that, and then we'll save it, file, save as, Barrow-in-Furness images A. Right, so let's have a look at what that looks like, and hopefully we shall see that image much clearer now. So let's have a look over here. Let's have a look at A. And then as I zoom in, look at this. Look at the sand dune. Does that sand dune remind you of anything?
Yeah, it looks like the hump.
Does that sand dune remind you of... Where are we? Does that sand dune look like that sand dune?
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, just because of the parallax issue that we talked about before, it places it in front of this building because we've moved further down the coast and slightly to the left sort of thing, because we've gone out into the ocean as opposed to being on the sea wall. So the parallax would place this in the line of sight of this.
I've got to ask a question.
Indeed,
just pull your picture across to the right, Ranty. The one that you just on there. Yeah, just open. Yeah, pull that across to the right so it pans to the left. So imagine you're going to look left.
Right. What here?
Oh, will it not go anymore? See that thing that's sticking up in the left-hand side, the white stick sticking up? That's not a turbine blade, is it?
It is, yeah.
I thought that earlier.
What the hell's going on there? So it's flat as a pancake to eat.
No.
Holy, that's
the turbine.
That's what I thought, but I didn't want to mention it in case all.
No. That's easy to. Well, it's not easy to explain, but the turbine hub will be where my cursor is here, and the actual because the stubby, aren't they? You know, they're more stubby than high. So essentially,
I'll tell you what, Anthony. I'll give you Riley's blade.
What's Riley's blade?
What's the castle-looking thing on the left?
That's a house. Part of a house.
But those blades will be on the other side of that landmass, won't they?
Oh,
so they'll be exponentially further away.
I've seen those videos.
Lower down on the horizon anyway, due to perspective.
Well,
correct.
Essentially, you shouldn't have even seen these because I think they're around about 26 miles away or something like that, 27 miles away to these turbines from where I was taking the image. Maybe even further than that, to be fair. If I had my old hard drive in, I could have triangulated them, but they're a long way away.
300 or 400 feet below the curve, and I don't know how high are these. I know you've done research on them. These turbines aren't 300 or 400 feet high, are they?
So the hub, I think they're around about 280 feet to the actual middle part of the hub. So where my cursor is right now, and these individual blades will be about 90 or 100 feet long.
They're big bastards, aren't they?
They are, yes. Massive.
I think it's the tallest turbine farm in Europe.
Well, not these ones. We're looking the other way. So these are smaller turbines. So they're not the big ones that are looking south. I can find out. I could look into it, but essentially we're not interested in what's going on behind here because we're looking at what we can see from 1 foot in elevation, and that is what we're seeing is we know that this building, because this is a very clear image, has 2 windows and a roof and the corrugated iron.
No distortion at all, is it?
Lovely, isn't it?
That isn't from a foot though. This is from 1 foot. This is from 1 foot, and we're seeing the corrugated iron roof. We're seeing 4 windows and a bit of miraging going on here, and then we're seeing obviously all of this, which you shouldn't see any of it. I've already done the curve calcs for you guys, and you know that the top of this clock tower you shouldn't even see, so any building beneath that you shouldn't see, and you also know the design of this building and how it looks. So wait till I show you some other images that are actually going to blow your mind, because you're going to go, really?
I think we already, mate, let's just take a second, you know, these are, so just remind ourselves of the curve calcs, how, just go back to the clock tower.
The clock tower.
They're 18 miles and directly comparable to Soundley's.
Right, so what distance should that be, you know, from a straight...
Here we go, so we're doing 18 miles.
216 feet.
216 drop.
And the height
I know you love the drop.
Yeah, the height of the clock tower is?
The height of the clock tower is 164 feet.
Right, so let's just go back to the picture then, and let's just put that in perspective. So from 1 foot, at a slightly elevated camera angle, we can see the clock tower,
which will be where's it gone? 3702A. Come on, don't crash on me.
Straight on.
There we go. There we go. So there's the clock tower.
Yeah.
There's the buildings beneath it. There's the easily identifiable buildings. There's the rock that I keep going on about, because it's evident in all the video, in all the images. It's very clear. It's on the actual water. And also we have the sand bank that's in the way here. So,
Ranty, have you got any full believers that are in that area as well?
Yeah, we have Miles Davis and Al Kay. They both go down and do experiment. They have been to Blackpool
go down and lie.
And lied, yeah.
Yeah.
But I imagine they won't come and try and debunk this, because what I've done here is, and this is what I was trying to say, I've got below the refraction zone. So the 4 windows that were prevalent originally, which was 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we know how these buildings look. So we've got the 2 windows, the corrugated iron, and we've got everything else that's going on, and then we've got the roof, and we can see this refraction zone sort of like starting to either morph or take, you know, whatever. You can see it here going on across here as well. So we're actually, with this image, we can prove that we're below the refraction zone, because it's refracting up from this position, and all the buildings in the foreground are exactly as you would expect to see on a flat Earth. Nothing's changing on these. These aren't morphing. Only the roofs are morphing. And yet, when you get above them, you know, down onto them, whatever, you can see it blurred. So I'll show you again on the next image. Again, can you see this refraction going on? It's got worse here.
It gets worse and lower as you go to the right.
Yeah.
In that last there.
Oh, this one.
That's right. There on the right hand side, you can see it's completely obscuring or wavering the buildings on the right hand side, but it doesn't line up with the refraction on the left hand side with the 2.
To be fair, that could be because I was freestyling this and the camera wasn't level. If you look at the image itself, it's slightly skew with. I bet if I straightened this image out, it would probably level up.
Right, I'm seeing it. Yep.
Yeah.
Or it could just be that there's more heat generated in that area because there's a lot more buildings and there's a lot more air conditioning outlets and exhaust and people.
I've got a bit of a theory on that, and it was kind of what I was alluding to, Shane. If you go back to the corrugated areas and zoom in a little bit.
What, here?
Yeah. What I said there earlier is you can see it's starting to stretch. The apexes and the angles of those roofs is a lot more acute than on the other image. And I think what you're starting to see there is, even though we're looking at a foot above, we're looking at through a very fine layer of air that's uniform. Okay, and what's actually happening as we even start to look up at those roofs is we're starting to have that change in air density, and therefore the slight angular refraction changes due to Fermat's principle there. And by the time you're then getting up to those windows, look, it's stretching even more to the point you're then starting to get the miraging, the inverse mirage effect.
Well, here's what I see. I see that because we've lowered our elevation, we're now looking level and up as opposed to down, because from the other image that I showed you, we were looking from an elevation of 60 feet down into these buildings. We see the sand dunes in the foreground, the corrugated iron, and the building on the these are the images I really wanted. I so want you to see these, guys. I want your opinion on this. Can you see what's happening to this clock?
Yeah.
Can you see how the clock face
mirrored?
has started to stretch,
elongated. Yeah.
So that's the point I'm making. What you're starting to see is, because you're looking, the first layer of air gives you a clear vision to the shore and things.
Yes.
Okay. And then
there's the rock.
What's got to happen as your angle increases to look at the clock faces, it's going to come out of that clear air and start to go into the dirty air as we describe it from higher up, which is where you're looking already, from the 5 foot and plus. And
I've stayed at the same position here, and basically I've probably over a period of 3 minutes, I've taken maybe 25 separate images, and what I've done is I've saved the best ones that were important, which was the buildings that are low down are still intact and exactly as you would expect to see, including this rock that I keep going to, that would now be in front of this building. But look at this clock tower now. That looks nothing like it. And this is where the refractions, this is a complete fata morgana on this. It's being reversed and pulled up. But the buildings underneath and the sand dunes underneath are staying the same. The rocks in the same place. None of this is being affected. All this is just, it's beneath the refraction zone.
It's like looking down the runway or whatever of Formula One track, and you know what I mean, on a hot day in Bahrain or whatever. And if you freeze framed it, you would be looking through and you'd be able to see layers of hot and cold, or dense and non-dense layers, and it would change by the second. Anyone know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do, because I actually this is documenting that.
Yeah, exactly.
The shape of the clock face, isn't it? Ranty, can you show in those few shots you've taken over a few minutes the different changes in the clock face? Because that, I mean, look how high the clock tower is there. It's nearly twice its height, isn't it? It's doubled over.
The twin towers
at the top of the clock face, isn't it? There.
Well, let's just be critical in analysing this like a scientist. This building hasn't changed at all. This has stayed the same. The rock in front of it has stayed the same. We know that's at sea level, this rock, and we know that this building is about, I mean, originally from a different position. We know that the clock tower is about this high. So everything beneath this is staying proportionate and exactly as you would expect to see it. The only thing that's changing is the clock tower and the steeple, which are being stretched up. So these two...
it looks like to me that's a classic Fata Morgana, right? It looks like it's inverted upside down above it.
But the buildings beneath it aren't being affected, which
maybe they're too low.
Yes, proving that going down to 1 foot elevation negated this refraction zone, and the only things that were refracted were the higher buildings. The footings, this stuff, the low stuff, weren't affected by the dirty air kind of thing, the refraction zone, and we're evidencing it through the series of images. So if I go back and I show you the original, this is the original first image of the clock, right? Hardly any refraction. I mean, everything's just proportionate. There's the rock in front of the building, right? It's very important because it's all proportionate. The only thing that changes is this clock face and the Fata Morgana of the clock face and this steeple to the side of it.
Ranty, can you see between that, if you... oh, yeah, I can just see it. That lower building, the strange sort of concave building, is it?
Yeah, I can show you that on Google Earth. Do you want me to show you that?
Yeah, if you could. But can you see between that building and the steeple and the clock tower that there's another vertical thing? And the only reason why I mention it is because I could see it in 2 different photos. In the one where you're showing the Fata Morgana and the shot you just shown a moment ago. I'm just wondering what it is, or whether it's
try and
something.
Find that for you.
Yeah, no worries. But let's have a look at this weird.
So I'm going to show you this. Hopefully, show you this building.
Loser.
I'm going to spin around. Here we go. Actually, I'll go across the road because it's you get a better image of it from there.
So there's a movie with Liam Neeson, right? And his daughter gets kidnapped, and he goes hard after these guys. She's in some like human trafficking thing. What's the name of this movie? Anybody? Somebody help me out.
No idea.
Wanted. Taken.
Taken. Thank you. That's it. So I'm reminded of that moment when she is taken. Right? She's hiding under the bed. So the bad guy just walks in. He's looking around the room, and you can just see his feet. And then you can see he sort of realizes she's under there, and he just bends down and looks underneath the bed.
peeps under the bed, yeah.
Just peeps under the bed, that moment, that realization that, oh, look, there's a whole new world underneath this bed right here. Yeah, that's exactly what I picture. Just taking your picture like, oh, look, there's a whole lot. Man, why don't I just gotta bend over? Oh, well, look at all this. Well, isn't that interesting?
Well, there's the clock face. And there's the side of the building, which is actually the double part of the building. I
can see why it looks like a double building now, yeah.
Yeah, and it's kind of concave with all the windows going through it. And we have a little bit on the roof, a little smudge on the roof.
So what's that statue?
You'd never see it.
No, but if you flick back to the Fata Morgana picture.
Here, this one.
No, there was a better one, wasn't there, where the clock tower looked huge. Not the original. It was a few more before this. Yeah,
there's one that's really clear.
Oh, hang on.
Yeah, that's the one, I think.
Which one?
One you just had open a minute ago, where the clock tower inverts itself and does a proper... What you're seeing is a mirage.
This one.
Can you zoom in? Right, there's something vertical between that curvy building and the...
It looks like a crane.
Is it?
There is something vertical. It looks like a yellowy colour.
Yeah.
Oh, this?
Yeah.
I have no idea. It could be an anomaly, perhaps.
Well, let's assume it's mirrored.
Oh, mind you, then again, it's there as well. It's there.
Yeah, that's what I thought. And it's also on the other photo that you, which doesn't have the Fata Morgana.
Is it curvature?
It could be a crane. It could be curvature. Yeah, we found the curvature, guys. There it is.
Adam's curve, we'll call it.
Adam's curve.
But I don't know if we say it's mirrored.
No, I know what it is. It's the steeple of the church.
I thought that was to the left of the...
Well, hang on. Let's just see what... Yeah, that would be on the other side. Because from this position, from changing position, this rock is now in front of the building, and this steeple is on the other side, just because of...
parallax.
You mentioned it before. Parallax, yeah. Sorry, I've had a couple.
No, I just laugh every time I mention parallax because there's absolutely zero parallax in stars. But people try and tell you that there is.
Let's get back to the facts now, right? This building should not be seen, and you can see how high that building is. And this lower building, the curved building, is half the height of this. And if that can't be seen, then that should not be seen. And if that can't be seen, and this rock is on the shoreline, and that should not be seen. And yet we see the rock, which is there. Let me zoom into the rock. It's in every image. And the building, and the clock.
Ranty's rock.
Ranty's rock.
The thing to say here is, I actually realised that a lot of the ballers can't actually envisage what it should look like on a flat plane. I know it sounds really obvious and really intuitive, but they can't do it. They look at it and see curve. And they can't see it as flat. And I look at that and go, it's obviously flat and I can't see it as curve. But they're the opposite way around. They cannot envisage it as flat. They see it as curve even though it's flat.
Well, it's a slam dunk, really. When Ranty's showing these sort of things, and you're not even meant to see the top of the clock tower, let alone half the height of the building behind it and to the right. I mean, it's just game over. I've got the same shots from Seaton and Devon to the Isle of Portland, and it's technically just not impossible on a ball Earth. And when you say, I think, ballers have a problem envisaging what it would look like on a flat Earth, I think it's the other way around. I think they've got a problem of realizing what it would look like on a ball Earth, and they're just seeing this and just going, yeah, of course it's a ball, but in reality it's just absolutely impossible on the ball Earth that they with the dimensions that they show us anyway.
Well, let me put it in context for you. One of the guys, I'll not say who it is, but one of the ballers was asked, if you're traveling at 60 miles an hour, how long would it take you to do 30 miles? And he couldn't work it out. He couldn't work it out, and he was like, "You're trying to trip me up here, aren't you?" And we were like, "No, come on. If you can picture these things, What?
He refused to answer, didn't he, in the end?
Yeah, he played the it's a trick card, and we were like, no, come on, if you're traveling at 60 mile an hour, how long would it take you to do 30 miles? And he didn't answer it. He squirmed out of it, but we all
thought that's what Google was for. I mean, you ask people on Twitter and things like, I guess you've never heard of Foucault's gyroscope experiment of 1852 or whatever, knowing that they're just going to go and look it up on Google, and Wikipedia will pop up and it will say blah blah blah. Yeah. It's like, you know, what, you asked someone that question, they couldn't actually answer it. Oh well, yeah. That's what we're dealing with.
What do you reckon, John? Do you reckon a free tube of charcoal fluoride-free toothpaste for the first correct answer in chat? Right.
No, come on, only ballers. Go. It's only for ballers.
Anyone.
Okay.
First...
Well, here you are, guys. I've just, right in front of your eyes now, I've just took this image and I've just changed the contrast and the brightness. And you can see that is a reflection of here. This is a reflection of, well, that's reflected on that. Everything here is reflected at this point.
If it's at a certain height.
Right? And
it literally dissects through the clock tower, the clock face.
Yeah, it does.
Yes. And everything underneath it is exactly how you'd expect to see it if you was on a flat plane, because you're just looking across flat water to the buildings there, and we have this effect going on here. This is the mirage line. Now this is from a foot. Now when I went, as I showed you on the video, I went above the refraction zone. It was all very blurred. Yeah.
And I'll just clarify that building that you're seeing half of, the strange one with the to the right of the clock tower.
Oh,
yeah, that is
this.
Yeah, it's theoretically half above sea level. Yeah, because it's built behind a wall.
Yeah, it's actually built behind the sea wall. I mean, it's like a natural sea wall. It has the sandbank that goes around it, and it doesn't have sea fences, so to speak, like Blackpool does.
No, so it's not as if you would ever see the bottom of that building.
No, I can show you that on like this image here. Look, here's the sandbanks in front of it. You can see the sand dunes running along.
And you're at a higher elevation here, aren't you?
Yeah,
so
this
you
is
can
from a
look
higher
down
elevation.
at the building.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
actually, if you went to the maps and dropped the green man outside that building, you wouldn't be able to see the sea.
No, it would be like a wall in front of you. So it'd be a wall of sand, like I showed you from the sand dunes in Blackpool, but from the other side. And this is the rock that gets in the way of this building because of the parallax issue. This is the rock.
I was going to say, you've got to respect the 59-foot change in parallax that that's going to create in that. It's just as you're going a mile down the coast and it's changing those, you know what I mean? It's going to have quite a big impact.
But the parallax works absolutely perfectly. I can tell that this photo is taken from a higher elevation. It's taken from a little bit from the right, whereas the other one was taken a little bit from the left, lower parallax, whereas that rock is moved via parallax in front of the lower building.
Yes.
Simply for me, it's the beach is less stretched out when you go lower down. You know what I mean? The beach becomes more, as Anthony was talking earlier about compaction. You know, the beach becomes more compact in its depth as you go lower down. It takes up less of the available image, and that proportion goes to the top.
Well, if you look at this building here, for instance, this is the lighthouse, and it's built behind the sand dunes. So we have this sand dune in front of it, and we have a house that's attached to the lighthouse. So whoever operates the lighthouse lives in this house, but you can't see anything apart from the chimney stacks of the lighthouse because the sand dune is in the way. And it's called this is actually called Walney Lighthouse. I might be able to bring an image up of that actually. Let me
so the house is obstructed, so that's the curve, man.
Let me put Walney Lighthouse in here, and I'll show you the images for that. Well, straight away, there we go. All right, so we have obviously we're looking at it from the other side, so we're seeing 2 chimney stacks and the house is behind it. So the house is behind it, and look, you can see the sand dune there. So that proves that this is the wall. This is Walney's or the Barrow's defences, sea defences. It's the sand dunes that are in the way, and you would never see this house, and you'd never see the base of the actual lighthouse, because
no, you'd have to be on the roof to see the sea.
Yeah.
Basically, standing next to the chimney stack. Oh, look, there's the chimney stack.
I could imagine you doing a blink test, one overlaying the other, and showing that house exactly where you'd expect it to be.
I could do that if I had my old hard drive back in. I would.
I think there's a lot more. This has got a lot more legs to go on for analysis.
Meat on the bone.
Yeah, considering the amount of analysis that was done on the Pontchartrain 18-mile curvy ball thing. Adam, have you done your Lego?
Well, yeah, maybe that's a good time to take a break. Walt, Josh, are you there, guys?
I am here. Yes, I am here. Enthralled, enraptured, just stunned by all this. It's been so great, guys.
Have we got?
I have been in touch with Jason. He had a little issue. He had to fix his brakes, but he is cleaning up and will be on here in just a few. So if we do want to, I think it is probably time for a break. Is there a way you can give us a little gravity break, sir?
Well, I think if you gentlemen could maybe give me a little second and fill for a sec, I could achieve that.
Absolutely. Well, for everyone there in chat, it's been great. I've actually kind of had to step back because I was doing a little prep here behind the scenes, getting ready for tomorrow. Because as you may or may not know, there will be a Flat Earth meetup here in Louisiana, right there in Soundly's stomping grounds. I'm sure if we look, we'll see Cheater's Hump just right there across the water. I did send the text out to let him know that there will be a Flat Earth meetup that our buddy Jason Clark has set up for tomorrow right there in Mandeville at Fontainebleau Park, which is right there on the water, Lake Pontchartrain. You can see New Orleans 25 miles away. It will be overcast. It will be humid. I will be doing lots of videoing as well as Jason.
Sorry. I think
no, it was good. I love talking in, dude.
Seamless.
I felt like I was back in the radio.
Oh,
seamless.
I genuinely thought.
You fucked it, Adam.
I genuinely.
You just left it playing. It was beautiful. Yeah, it was beautiful, man. I was over.
Play now. Pretend it didn't happen. Just.
I do feel like I've got to apologise for a bit of
premature
broadcasting.
So just play music and I will deal with it in DJ style.
And there's the music. I hear the music. We will see you after the break.
Right. Well,
Adam.
To do this justice.
All right, we round.
Hit play for fuck's sake.
Ranty, would you mind terribly maybe sharing that Google Drive link? I think there's probably a few people, I think Flat Enough might like to have a really good close-in look at some of those videos and pictures you've got.
We shared it in our chat this morning on the show, and it was, a
Just
nice
make sure that the permissions are set properly, because you don't want someone going in like Brenda and deleting them all.
Right, be careful. In fact, if you'd rather us give them out privately, we can do it that way, sir.
I've just got back, so I missed. If you said anything, I completely missed what you said.
That's
no, just talking directly to you. It's no big deal.
Okay, that's fine.
I genuinely, I need that guy.
It's all right. You just missed the Gravity song. It's okay. We're into the second half.
We're not into no second
half.
We had a 30-minute music break. The guy.
Full DJ. I was doing some rave moves. You missed it.
Oh, damn it!
All right. So, Ranty, would you mind terribly double checking the permissions on your Google Drive link, and maybe we could throw that in the chat? I think there might be at least a few people that'd like to take a real good look at some of the video and pictures that you've got there.
Yeah, I've got them all ready.
Just make sure you got them saved somewhere else as well, in case,
Oh, yeah.
In case Brenda goes in and removes
the shows up, or Tim's time takes place. So.
I'm having image issues, Josh.
I'm here. What you got?
Well, for some reason, when I was
Adam, don't you ever have those
it wasn't streaming live on the YouTube channel. It wasn't showing the.
You guys should have the link in the side now.
Missed it now. Muffed it.
I'm sure they do.
I had my moment and I blew it.
That was the gravity.
All those years of training.
We've all gone for a piss. We've all refreshed our drink.
I couldn't tell anything went wrong, Adam.
That's the thing. I have yet to. I was doing a little outro to get that done, but.
So what are you looking for?
Some music.
If I go to the YouTube or my screen share, it doesn't change it on.
This is Cheyenne's
Oh
gravity.
shit!
Final
No,
touch.
guys, Josh, maybe I don't need that guy. Wait there. Wait.
You missed it.
Just
Go on.
Wait, give me a moment, guys. Give me a moment.
And we'll be right back right here on
feeling
the Iron Realm Media.
I'm
Flat
feeling this shit.
FringeCast.
Wait there.
Make sure you stay tuned right here.
Wait there. I'm going to do it even properlier.
Look
More
at you
popular.
go.
Coming up right after this, we're going to hear from Cheyenne. You've heard it. It's her song Gravity right here. But this is the Vagabond remix.
You are gentlemen and scholars. Right.
If you don't hit
Meanwhile,
that
the
button
Adam
in
Meakin
5,
will fibble and fobble
4,
and shibble about
3,
and snakes about
2, 1.
face. We're all pretty high.
It's gone. It's over. Forget it.
We'll be right back.
Pretty high, our heads are
See you in about a
almost
quarter of an hour.
in the clouds, and their feet are chained to the ground with their chains of misery. They've got a hold of me. They won't let go of me. Let go of me. They might have gravity on their side, but something's pulling us high. Got the potential to fly. Don't let them be what holds you back from this one incredible chance. They're lucky to have had a glance at you while you defy gravity. They can be cruel and mean and a huge pain. Our heads are in the clouds now. Don't let them make it rain. A smile can be the sign they're missing out on their rainy day. They might have gravity on their side, but something's pulling us high. Got the potential to fly. Don't let them be what holds you back from this one incredible chance. They're lucky to have had a glance at you while you defy gravity. You defy gravity. They say we aren't strong enough. We don't have what it takes. I say yeah, they're wrong enough, and we'll show them someday. They might have gravity on their side, but something's pulling us high. Got the potential to fly. Oh yeah. Don't let them be what holds you back
Fears the little death. This is Uncle Walt from the Ironworks. Josh, Corey, and I.
That was an obnoxious echo. I don't know where that's coming from. Weird.
Oh, thank God.
Insert Ironworks promo here. Every Tuesday and Friday. 2 a.m. Central. 4 a.m. Pacific. 10 a.m. Greenwich Mean Time. TFRlive.com, iHeartRadio.com, and the TuneIn Radio app.
Josh, you're a gent. Yeah, sorry, I was on mute. Josh, you are a gentleman. Thank you. Not too bad. Not too bad. That was all panicked, mate. Heart rate went up, all sorts of stuff at the end of that.
What's happening? Who was watching chat or whatever? Anything interesting happening?
No idea. While you look at that, just a quick shout out there. Whenever I have to find that video, all I have to type into YouTube is Gravity Vagabond. There's top tip there, but
you're meant to have a shortcut on your desktop.
I don't need to.
To a local
I just
copy.
have to type Gravity Vagabond. It's there.
And it works perfectly every week.
I certainly did not have
Silly
time
me.
for coffee in that little bit of time. Sorry, I tried.
Well,
so we're back.
Yeah, I did my link, guys, and
that was Apollo 11.
Right. All right. Let me go turn my fan off. 1 second.
Oh, he's back. He's back.
And talk.
Right.
Who? Me?
Well, let me. We mentioned before the break, didn't we, about Pontchartrain? So I've got my Pontchartrain Lego up, which may lead Walter into introducing the next guest. I don't know if we're.
Are you sharing your screen, Adam?
I've just got the OBS windows up. I've been a little geeky and done some of my Lego Pontchartrain videos, which is, if you look in the scrolling window, there's some images that I just took with this is just done with my iPhone and a strap-on lens. It's just me and a strap-on, and it's,
you and your strap-ons, mate.
Yeah.
Never mind that P900 you've got gathering dust in the corner of the room.
Yeah, I had that. Honestly, it was nowhere near as good as this, and I just had the lens, the telescopic lens on that.
Look at the wobble on that. I've not seen that before.
Yeah. Well, that's just that. You know, according to the builders, that's a straight floor. But you know, that's.
you got a warranty?
I don't know. I mean, I've certainly got some evidence, haven't I? I know in a court of law that floor's not straight.
What we need is a level on top of it, a water spirit level.
I mean, speaking of, I have a plan. I planned ahead on my Iron Stick 2.0.
Oh, have we got pictures of that?
Oh wait, let's debut it live. Hang on one second.
Well, before we get there, so there's the scrolling pictures. If you look on the right hand side, there's the two images. Now these are taken with the same camera, literally at the same point on the tabletop, and what I've managed to show here is curvature in the bridge. There is no curvature in the bridge. It's the straight images you see on the scrolled images. But what you can do with a slight bit of angular perspective, as I alluded to earlier with Anthony and Ranty, what angle they were taking their pictures at, and then a slight positioning within the camera lens itself, so the point of focus is not necessarily in the center of the image. You can create all sorts of fisheye effects almost, but without a fisheye lens. This is just a standard. It's the same lens in both images on the right hand side. It's just positioning within the lens that achieves it in a slight change in the angle of the photo.
Showing basically that lenses are not perfect and will never be perfect. No. They're perfect for the job that they do, but they're not perfect for universal jobs. I mean, look at the wave in that. Sorry, you've probably moved on.
You're not trying to suggest that Soundly might have spotted this and decided to optimize it, are you?
The the thing that gave me the clue to do it was I got the lenses, I was looking at it, and then I went to Sandy's videos, and if you look at you see how the picture's constructed there, and there's the little boxes. If you look at Sandy's live feed, he has little images around it, and there's some of them have got kind of almost telescopic views, and it just gave me that idea. So I wouldn't dare to make the assertion. All I'm saying is, look, you can achieve a soundly effect on a tabletop with a mobile phone. And you know what we do know about Soundly's videos is he's done somebody did a great bit of work with the CGI to show his image in real time, and you know, nobody's driving over that roller coaster, are they? I mean, it's quite clearly a distorted image, and that's what you've got there on the top image of the two, is a distorted image. But
you see, the thing with Soundly is, though, that he could put an image out or a video out in the fog and it raining. You know, it could be raining in the foreground, and it could be foggy in the background, and it could show all kinds of curve. You know, if you was living on a ball that was 100 miles in radius, you know, and it would have 200 likes and 3 dislikes, because he has a following of ballers that basically live on everything that he says. And I believe, Anthony, correct me if I'm wrong, but was it Wolfie that sent him the P900?
I don't know.
Okay, well, as far as I know,
is,
and I'm
Ranty,
pretty sure,
is that I mean, there is this thing called a circle jerk, where you're gonna get diehard ballers following people like Sly, Wolfie, and the Soundly effect. And it to be perfectly honest, I just think they're irrelevant. They are literally in an echo chamber of their own. They don't mean anything to anyone, and they're just pointless. To me, they've just become irrelevant.
There's a better name for them than circle jerkers. You know, like people that are in the conspiracy world generally get called auto hoaxers. Well, a lot of the fans on the Sly Sparkane side of it, they're auto believers. They just accept anything that the hand feeds them, and they'll just accept it. They won't even critique it at all, but then criticise flat earthers for not critiquing stuff. But they do the exact same themselves.
Yeah, you see it every day. I mean, there's a big difference between most of the people that are on this panel and your average ball believer, is that we've gone out there and done stuff and tested this thing for ourselves. You know, we can sit here and say we know it's flat, we know it's stationary, and this is something that these people can't do, and it becomes apparent.
I'll give you an example. I think Wolfie mirrored a video of a gentleman that had took an observation of a boat, and mirrored it on his own video, on his own channel, and said that this was absolute proof of a ball. And what it was a P900 that was zoomed into max zoom, and it follows a boat for perhaps 30 or 40 seconds, and that, you know, that's it. And then it gives a lot of description. This was where it was taken, this was the observer height, this was the time of day, this was the date, you know, all the stuff that you would need. But in the video, there's literally just like a 30 or 40 second clip of a boat zoomed in at max. There's no withdrawal of the video and doing a full 360, showing the location, showing the observer height, this is where I'm standing, you know, and then zooming back in and saying, look what I can see. You know, when I was asked before and complimented on the work that we're doing with our work, which is we show the location, we show where we are on the beach next to the water, you know, everything's there. It's like there can be no denial as where we were. If Anthony hadn't had the trolls after him like he did, he wouldn't have really kept on filming and pulled his P900 back and showed the mound of sand that he was actually taking the video from. Because what he'd have done is he'd have zoomed in, he'd have seen the Isle of Man, and he'd have pressed stop record, because that's what I used to do when I first started doing this stuff. But then we get attacked, and we have been attacked for not doing this particular, in a process of doing the observation in this particular way. And
well,
yet,
this is why your videos are so important, and why they are so meticulous and boring to some, but meticulous to others, insofar as that you are providing the information that you generally don't get when you're looking at mainstream pseudoscience telling you how things are. You want to, as a normal person, you want to know how high are you, what's the density, what's the time of day, what's the temperature, and you're providing that information, which is purely scientific, and this is the information that we don't get when we're literally told extraordinary facts that,
extraordinary claims. This baller claim that the boat was going over the curve, there was no visual evidence to back up his theory. There was no identification of the boat visible on the actual footage, and there was no withdrawal of the camera and showing where he was on in any shape or form. He could have took that video absolutely anywhere, right?
Anywhere.
And we got absolutely slaughtered for doing this originally when we started first putting stuff out, and we evolved to get past that, and yet now the ballers are trying to play catch up. So in a sense, what they were criticizing us for in the past, and because we've gone past that and achieved and gone past every sort of like checklist of everything that they could basically criticize us for, and we've gone past that, now when they bring out content, we hold their toes to the fire and say, okay, well, you remember when you used to criticize us for this? Well, where's the evidence in your videos? And
well, that's a lot. That's similar to the sort of evolution of the gyroscope experiments that I was doing. I mean, there is a point where the ballers or the criticizers have a point, and a point that you should address, and it's I'd address those sort of things with the cable and having it wireless, and then having it on a turntable and this sort of thing, and that's what you need to do, and that's called peer review as far as I'm concerned. When they start splitting hairs about the weight of equipment and that sort of thing, or whether you're 31 feet or 32 feet above sea level, I mean, it just gets to the point where it's ridiculous, and at that point they become irrelevant to me. Well,
let me just say that firstly, there's two things I want to talk about, and that's the P900 itself. So it's a compact camera. So when I say compact, it's probably about 4 or 5 inches in width. So as you're holding it, it's just about finger width, so you can grab it. But when you actually start to do the zoom on it, and that 2000mm zoom comes out, okay, the weight distribution of the camera is now changed. It's front heavy. It's front heavy because the zoom is, and that telescopic lens is coming out of the camera and going forward. So when they criticize us for freehand stuff, bearing in mind, right, you're holding the camera a foot in elevation, freehand, you're zooming in, so the weight of the telescopic lens is now dragging the camera down. So you've got to counter all this with your wrists and your hands. You've got to try and do this on the fly, and they're criticizing it for being kind of shaky or wobbly or not brilliant.
Mate, sod them. What you've done is awesome stuff, and I think a lot of learning and experience. And I think Walt tomorrow, when he goes to, I pull back up the Lego train bridge there, and maybe that's. I see we're joined, I think, by Jason Clark.
We are indeed.
I'll hand over to you, Walt, if you want to.
Well, we had Jason on Tuesday on TFR, and this is the gentleman behind the Flat Earth Louisiana meetup that's going to be happening tomorrow in Mandeville, right there on Lake Pontchartrain. Jason, we're so glad to have you here on our Friday show, sir. Are you there? You might be muted,
Jason.
You might be muted, my brother. And again, it could be your Skype. Welcome to Iron Realm Media. This is how it usually happens. Well, while we get his audio in place, I will, I guess, go ahead and debut the. Let me see if it's ready yet. Are you in?
I'll tell you what. That Ranty, that's absolute fascinating stuff. I love the pictures, and yeah, I'm really excited by all this sort of micro-analyzing of these sort of things, because anyone can get out there and do it. And hats off to you. Well done, mate.
Yeah, Randy, can I just say, hey, first of all, thanks for the presentation and all you put in there, mate. And hopefully we'll go through some stuff and use some of your footage as well, and hopefully get into a bit of discussion and a bit about perspective and that as well. And maybe use some more of your footage. I don't know how you are for time or just getting on.
Well, no. To be fair, you have the link to my Google Drive, so you're all welcome to download the images and the video. You can use it, share it any way you like. There's no comebacks on it. Just go ahead and just display it, use it as much as you like, and let's just get it out there. Let's just say to everybody, okay, maybe you can go out and do this. Somebody in America might be able to do it. Somebody in Jamaica might be able to do this.
Where's that link, Ranty? Sorry.
The link. I will repost it in the side of the Skype right now.
We'll add it to the description as well.
There you go. Well, if I were you guys, first and foremost, I would download it right now because there is a possibility that somebody could delete the files. So if you want to download them and save them to your own computer right now, I would suggest doing it now before you put the link out.
All right, doing that even as we speak.
Okay, perfect.
Jason, have you got your audio set up, brother? I'm seeing you but not hearing you. It could be the button on the screen.
Or the internal Skype settings.
Or it could be Skype itself. If you're on your computer, you may have to set the call to accept that microphone. If you go there he is.
All right, I got it figured out now. How y'all doing?
Hey, brother.
Man.
Oh yeah.
I turn my camera off because I know it's making my audio horrible.
Anthony,
I'll show off the iron stick in a minute.
Was that was the famous iron stick?
No, that's 2.0. Adam is the originator. This is my.
I'm gonna go get up and get the original iron stick.
Yeah, this is my.
We're doing iron stick time.
Yeah, this is my. I don't want to have stick envy. Please don't do that. So I've got I've got the old spirit level here, so we can check that out if we're there. I've got the extra little headphones, a la Adam's previous. Got a little.
Wait. Let's get this bad boy full screen.
Clip. Then I've got. Are we not full screen?
No,
all right, we got the spirit. We got the spirit level ready.
Look, I'm an amateur here. Give me a
I've
second.
Got the old slinky for that gravity drop test we can do. Got the mic. I mean the extra mic, extra headset here. Now, just for I know there's ballers that might show up, so I've got a fisheye lens on the camera for the ballers, and then our good old buddy Frank, because I want them to feel secure with the lab-coated figure of authority in place. But I'm ready. I'm ready for tomorrow, for sure.
Well, Stanley shows up the fisheye, make him feel at home.
That's what I'm saying. I don't want him to be scared away. But yeah,
Anthony, are you there, mate?
Jason actually has a P900, so I do have envy on that, man. He's got the real deal, man. He's got some good footage showing New Orleans 25 miles away. And between what you guys are showing and what we're going to be trying to do tomorrow and what he's already got, I mean, this ball is smashed, deflated, over.
Well, Anthony's really been debating soundly for the last year or so. So, have you got any kind of requests from these guys? Because they're going to go and do the the observations that Soundly does. Is there anything that you would like to see or anything that you would like to clear up?
Yeah, I'd like someone to catch up with that Walter Bislin and ask him to explain why his model shows that curvy as hell, but the evidence that we're catching, it shows it to be flat as hell. Because Walter Bislin must have something to say about the modelling bit that he's done, because, well, we should be validating his work and we should get it so it's comparable and verifiable, and we should be getting the same results. So
who did you say? Walter who?
Walter Bislin.
Who's that?
He's Soundly's equivalent of our Chris Monk. He modelled it all.
Is that the one who made his little pictures, AutoCAD? I didn't know who that was making those.
Yeah. So,
at least he accurately represents that ramp there in the middle of the bridge that Soundly so awesomely puts there. So.
Well, it looks like he's modelled his model on Soundly's work.
Of course he did. That's the only way to make that curve happen, is to do the fake foreshortening of the footage so it does that curvature. So as Candy in chat has said earlier, I've been across that bridge many, many times. She used to cross it twice daily. It doesn't hump. It doesn't curve. It's world record flat bridge. You can see New Orleans 25 miles away. I mean, this is all pretty much dead issue. We're just kind of re-emphasizing and beating a dead horse at this point. But tomorrow we'll be doing things, hopefully, like I'll set up a time lapse to try to catch the layers that will change the distance and the elevation of New Orleans in the distance. And you guys tell us what with the P900, because I'm clueless. I know Jason has more of a clue than I do, but give us some clues. We need experiments. We need things to try.
Well, I think what he's doing is he's using the maximum zoom, but he's going into the digital zoom, which he says that he doesn't do, but I think he is doing, because we sometimes see turbines doing what the bottom of that bridge does, which does look like the bending behind what looks like a curve. But then you see Isle of Man at like 65 miles in the background and realise it can't be. But I think he's using the maximum zoom on the camera because he knows that it dips off at a certain distance, and then Pontchartrain seems to be that. So basically, get your camera on full zoom and see if you can replicate it and see if it works. But I think he does it at a certain time of the day when he knows the refractive conditions are favourable for him. But yeah, get it on full zoom if you can, and get it on a nice flat bit of land, rather than on a tripod at 3 or 4 feet, because the higher the tripod height, the more unstable it is.
I don't know if you had a chance to catch the beginning of the show, Jason. Have you seen the secret hack that Ranty came up with, how to get underneath the mirror layer?
Yeah, I listened to the show this morning, and I caught some of it. And I was listening a while ago while I was changing my brakes. So
have you been practicing knee bends?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm excited, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to try that tomorrow. The only thing that worries me is that lake is so shallow. Any little bit of wind picks those waves up.
Have you caught the beach from? I mean, I haven't looked at all your footage. Have you caught the beach of New Orleans, the area there at the other side of the lake? I know most of the footage I've seen people have is just the buildings halfway, quarter of the way, top of the buildings. Have you caught the actual?
No, not with the P900.
Somebody did, like, second year of me looking into all this, I remember a zoom across that beach and seeing those waves on that far shore. So I know it's, again, like you were saying about Soundly's stuff, it's certain conditions, certain layering happening. That's the catch, is are we going to be there at the right time tomorrow, you know?
Yeah, ever since I've had the camera, I've had the worst conditions every time I've went out there.
How long is it a drive for you to get there?
Well, if you think about Skunk Bay and what you see in Skunk Bay, in the morning it's quite still. In the middle of the day it's quite erratic and it's all over the place. And by the end of the day, when the sun's at sunset, it settles back down again. Now, obviously, you're not going to get there first thing in the morning with it being summer, but you might be there in the evening when the sun's setting. When it's
aren't you planning on getting there pretty early, Jason?
Yeah, I'm going to plan on being there as soon as they open the doors, so I can reserve our little pavilion for our meetup.
So what about? I think it's got like 6, 7. I can't remember. I found the time out, and then it's.
I think they open at 8, so I'm probably going to be there about 7:30.
Cool deal.
Well, I'm not sure what you'll get early in the morning, but from my own experience, it seems to be best when it's like the sun's not directly overhead at daytime. So like when the sun's setting, it doesn't have to be gone, and it doesn't have to be like on its way down. It just needs to be not at high noon. So like, let's towards the horizon and then see what happens. That's what I would.
Tony, don't you think that Skunk Bay footage in itself is just a slam dunk? I mean, if you have the camera set up and you leave it running for all the day, then you can literally show that this mirror band goes up and down, and every minute is completely different.
Yeah, and I argue that you don't see the mountain in the background dropping behind the curve and then coming back again, dropping behind the curve and coming back again, which is of course the variation on their maths that they demonstrate. That's what you would expect to see. We don't see that. We just see it stretching and shrinking, stretching and shrinking. You don't see that mountain zooming back, and you don't see what their maths tells you that you should see. But they turn a blind eye to that because, well, it's just a bit of refraction. Yeah, but when they say it in that context, that's our refraction. But when it comes to bending around the curve of the Earth, that's their refraction. So they use our refraction when it suits them, i.e. Skunk Bay. But when it's like bending round curves, they change the meaning of the word refraction. So I agree with you. It is a slam dunk, but they just can't see it or won't see it. Nelson's eye, right?
Right.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Let's see. It looks like sunrise.
Good to meet you, Jason, by the way.
No, but I would say, guys, listen, don't be disappointed if you go out with your P900 and you don't capture anything tomorrow, because the conditions, honest to God, right, you can go along and you can go there for 30 days and you might only get 5 days where you actually see good weather, right? So
and also,
prepare for the worst.
And that's in the UK.
There's no correlation between good weather and good visibility, because I've noticed that you can get good weather and rubbish visibility, but equally you can get bad or cloudy or overcast weather, but you can get great visibility. So
that might be our benefit tomorrow then, because it will be a bit cloudy and overcast to start and then clear up.
Good weather does not mean good visibility. There's no correlation between the two.
Well, you don't want it pissing down.
Every day I walk around the fields in Somerset, and I've got certain hills that I know are there. Whether I can see them or not is another thing. But every single day it's different. And like you say, some days, I'm covered in a black cloud and it's pissing down with rain, but I can see for miles and miles and miles. Other days it's really hot, and you just can't see it. It's just, or it's been chemtrailed out, or anything along those lines. So it is literally a minute by minute thing, which is what to me makes this sort of line of targeting global bullshit difficult, is because it is so variable. There are so many variables in it. That's
when we're talking about trying to model this, or have Chris model this, and how difficult the variables would be trying to create these layers. Right? It's
I really don't think you can.
Chaos.
I mean, if
looks
you
like sunrise is 6:07 and sunset tomorrow will be 7:44. So we should have a good range of both. Sorry.
What's the temperature supposed to be like?
Oops, I dropped my phone even as I was checking all that. It will be a high of 88 and a low of 68. So
that's good.
Visibility reading.
I'm trying to find that actually right now on a weather site, because I was on time and date getting the sunrise and sunset. Hold on.
Because I found the hotter it is, the more mirrored effect you get.
Yeah.
41% humidity, UV index of 1, cloud cover is not here.
I found the same basically on cold, October days. You can see for miles and miles on some days, and on hot August days, it's it's just a blur. It's a mist. It's It
just mirrors out after so far for me.
Yeah.
Especially in Louisiana, we got so much humidity.
Man, really.
So you're
it's looking like
arranging
clear all the way through until about morning time, and then it's going to cloud up, and then by afternoon time, that clouding will be away from us, and it'll clear up again. So we, again, variables all throughout the day. My goodness.
We might get some good shots early, and then get some more good shots later that evening.
On that, I've learned nothing tonight. I've learned go low.
Right? Deep knee bends.
Get wet.
Yeah, there's like go low when the tide or the cresting waves are quite flat.
And look, we'll time it as you're doing your deep knee bend. I'll launch the drone up, and we'll get both directions.
Or we can always be low.
Be low.
Sorry. Can we get a rundown on the Louisiana meetup and get the details out there to anyone that's listening in the area that wants to turn up? Am I talking to the right person?
Yes, sir. So far, I'm going to be there early, and I'm going to start cooking, and I'm going to set my camera up looking toward New Orleans and start a time lapse. And I'm probably going to put that camera as low as I can get it from the information I just got. And I think some people is going to start showing up probably about 11:30, bringing some more food. So
and we'll get there as early as we can. We have about a 2.5 hour drive, and I'm not famous for getting up early, but I will be up early tomorrow.
Where is it in Louisiana?
Mandeville, Louisiana.
Mandeville, Louisiana, and you're coming from where, Walt?
I'm about 2.5 hours away, right between Morgan City and Lafayette.
Oh, you do have a good little drive.
Yeah, oh yeah. It's going to be a journey, but it's worth it. And get to meet you, and there'll be, I know Richard Lee Burke Jr. said in either comments or maybe a comment that he'll be there for sure in our little promo video. So, and I know you had a few other people you said will be there, so it'll be awesome. If it's just you and I, we'll have a blast, brother. Don't worry.
Yeah, we're going to have a few others that's coming.
Uh-oh, sorry, I got my phone on here.
There ain't no telling who else is going to show up that's not in our groups but heard about it on the video. So.
Well, we've been pumping it up all week. I've got it on Twitter. I've got it on Google. I've got it on Facebook. You've been doing the same. So hopefully, I know you had gotten the video you put out, or not you, but what you had Mark put out last week is how I found out about it. So I'm glad that happened, or I never would have known. I would have missed it completely.
Yeah.
Perfect synchronicity.
Yeah, it worked out. We should have a good time. It don't matter who shows up.
Well, I'd like to see Soundly show up, actually.
Oh, I would love that.
Well, I went on Twitter as soon as all this started, and in one of the Twitter debates, in fact, the one that I'm currently banned from using photo forensics Twitter debate. I don't know if you guys heard that this morning, but yeah.
I heard that.
The person who either makes or runs photo forensics has banned me from using it because I'm misrepresenting it by showing NASA fakery with it. So yeah, I'll share all that with y'all later.
You're not a name, you're an IP address.
That's it. So anyway,
I heard that on the show this morning, Walt, and that was just ridiculous, isn't it? It's absolute. Oh, you can't do that with my software, even though it doesn't break any of my pre-stipulated rules.
Right.
What it reminds me of is the null school, the Earth null school thing, where they took away the AE projection. You remember that?
Absolutely. They've been taking our little toys away from us. First they flipped it around, and then they took the AE completely away.
Yeah, and until, of course, Tesla's Apple recreated it somehow.
Amazingly.
Yeah, get down on knees and start bowing. I don't know how you did it. But
we are not worthy.
They took Anthony's MIT paper as well.
Is that it? Oh yeah, you did say that this morning. That's right.
Yeah, they took Anthony's MIT paper away, and he's incredibly upset about that.
2 of them, not 1. 2.
What's that? Explain that. Well, I haven't heard that.
M. Scott Veach was on Nathan's channel, and I was citing from 2 papers that I often cite from. And basically, I said, you don't have to like it, but that's what it says. And I was obviously referencing the word negligible and something else in one of the other papers. And I challenged him to get it removed. I said, if you're not happy with it, contact MIT. I'm sure they'll take it down for you if you ask them really nicely. Anyway, the next day, the first one went, and the day after, the second one went. And I thought, there's no coincidences on Flat Earth. It has to have been something to do with him.
So I do remember you saying that, yeah.
M. Scott Veach was directly involved in it, the little worm. I don't know what he did or how he did it, but he managed to get both of them removed in 2 days.
And how long have these papers been up? Was it 10 years or so?
One was up in 2006, and I think the other one was 2001. So they've been there a long time. But for some reason,
how we're rewriting history, isn't it? 1984 style.
Isn't the silly 15 flat earthers in existence that just all of us morons that are hiding behind the keyboard? But these sock accounts, we're doing pretty good, aren't we?
Yeah.
He's not hiding, is he? Isn't he a son of an astronaut?
That's kind of like announcing himself as a paid troll.
Yeah. Nathan keeps telling everybody how his daddy lied to him.
Poor guy.
Right, moving on.
Sorry.
What we got? I've got Bill Nye is pushing eugenics.
What's that?
I don't know what else.
Bill Nye.
Yeah, I'm scraping the barrel here, man.
The science guy.
It's all gone a bit
science
quiet.
actor guy? What?
What's he saying? What's he saying now? Because
we've got. Oh no, wrong one.
Last I saw him, he was
fundraiser.
promoting transgenderism and stuff, weren't he?
Yeah. Now he's headlining a fundraiser for Planned Parenthood and pushing population control.
What's his plan? Wear a bow tie?
I honestly don't know how this guy gets airtime anymore. Quite frankly, I mean he's not even what his title says he is, science guy. So yeah, I can't put links in the doodah, can I?
Give it a go, mate.
Yeah, I don't think I'm with Belu. I'm not actually wrenched up. Oops. Remove any web addresses and try again.
You've not got
someone wrenched me up.
I thought we tried to wrench you and you refused the wrench. Why do I have that memory? I don't know why, but
he turned down the wrench.
I thought he did. I may be wrong. I could be incorrect, but
so we re-wrench it.
Know how
all have been duly wrenched that wished
wrenching
in the early days.
Honestly, I wouldn't even know how to turn down a wrench. It's
just say, I don't want
look, I'm wrenched. I've got a wrench.
Fully wrenched.
There you go.
Simply.
See if I can post a link. There you go. Sweet.
Take that wrench. Look at that.
Wow. Only took 3 years.
yeah, pretty much. Well, it took me 2.5 years to look at the chat. So we're getting there.
Baby steps.
Right, guys. Well, I'm going to bail. I'm going to bail.
Thank you so much, man.
Cheers, Ranty.
Yeah.
This has been an amazing day all around. Thank you for starting the day out with us. It was great. Guys, go check out that show later, not now, but definitely go check it out on our TFR. I'll make a video from that show using this footage that you've included here for us, sir, and have that up on availability for everybody to check out.
Absolutely. Fantastic. Yeah. Pleasure.
And the other thing is as well, don't be afraid to go out and do some observations while the weather's getting good, because the more people that are doing it, get online and just present it and see where it goes, because you'd be surprised how many people won't even respond to it, because if it's a good flat earth proof, they'll just ignore it and hope it goes away. But this is the time of the year when we can really get some good work done, so get out there, get your cameras pointed at the horizon, get low as you can, and see what happens. And if you get good footage, come and let people know and get it shared, because we need to see these things.
Exactly.
Totally agree. Well,
thank you for being here as well, sir. We appreciate you always.
No worries. It feels like my second home.
Well, you are home.
Welcome,
Thank you, brother.
Always
put your
welcome.
slippers back on. Put your dressing gown back on. Sit up.
Sit up.
Back in your hot tub.
Anthony, think of it like the hotel room at the Flat Earth conference. I think the first time we met, it was within 10 or 15 minutes. Said hello, separated, quickly came back because you dumped all the stuff at the room. Within 5 minutes, there was these 2 double beds, and we just laid there chilling out, opposite beds, just having a chat for like we've been mates for a while. It's the same here, bro. Come here, put your feet up, chill out whenever. It's always good.
Yeah, it's nice not to have all the anxiety that comes with Nathan's. I love Nathan and I love the show.
A little stressful.
Yeah. It's nice to come here and not have to be keeping an eye on the back door and unmuting myself every 2 minutes.
No, guys. Ranty, mate, to you, thanks for the presentation and more importantly, the hard work you've put into to be able to do that. It's
brilliant.
Outstanding, mate. Outstanding. Well played, fella.
I appreciate it, Adam. Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, I'm going to drop as well, guys. It's just gone 1 a.m. and it's time for Bobos.
We're lightweights in the UK.
Yeah.
You speak for yourself.
What,
me and Adam are still here.
We're normally slurring by this point, to be honest.
Well, I think I was slurring about 4 hours ago.
We're close to our normal bail time, but because it's half an hour late.
This is true. You're
I
right.
reckon, and we really want to have get for Jason to a good chance to get his info out. And as I'm now broadcaster, I've got a duty to stay. I can't bail early.
You had one job, Adam.
That's it.
Hey, Adam, we can't take over. We do have team viewers, so if you are insistent on going to bed, we can take over.
Absolutely, yeah.
I'm all good, baby.
I need to go to bed.
Yeah, I'm going to bed as well. So good night,
right, guys.
Take it easy.
Thanks.
Yeah, and you guys. Well done.
Good night, guys.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
We'll see you again soon.
We'll see y'all again.
Northern
That was awesome.
pussies.
Thank y'all so much. Well, if you want to, I guess the best thing to do is just go show some footage from your channel, Jason, or do you have some other stuff you wanted to throw at us in like the chat there? And plus, I know you're trying to get ready for the thing tomorrow. You just had to fix your brakes. We don't want to stress you out too much trying to dig stuff up last minute here. But yeah, if you want us to just throw stuff on your channel, from the channel we can do that. That might be easiest.
Yeah, if you want to play some clips.
Have you got that, Adam, or are you gonna do it, Josh?
If you want to screen share, Jason, then I'll present it for you. That's no problem. I say that.
And for you to do that, it's are you on your computer or your phone?
I'm on my phone.
Oh, you can't. Here, I'll do it. Hang on.
Okay, if you
I got it.
screen
Yeah, I got it. Hang on. Let me go to. I was going to share the little Twitter crap for everybody to go jump on this guy's Twitter feed, but don't do that. I have a better idea. Everybody go to Photo Forensics app and just NASA it up. Every image, ESA, every image, fake X, every image. Just flood it with as many fake space pictures as you can and put it on every version of media so that we all get banned for 3 months because we're bad little flat earthers. All right, let me go find your channel.
You've not it's not letting go, is it?
Dude, it's not going to die down. Don't you vote me. Don't you.
I caught the last little bit of y'all show this morning on my way to work, and right after y'all show, I was trying to find Ranty, and then I ran into a live feed of Soundly. Soundly was live this morning during y'all show. Just so
really interesting.
Yeah. He was doing some kind of.
Respond to me.
He was doing some kind of experiment. He put lanterns down the causeway and was measuring The light
That
drop.
must be why he has been unavailable. Because when I checked him out on Twitter, he had not been in the Twitter debate or even sharing anything for like 4 or 5 days. And now he has, like I said, not responded this whole week to any of mine.
I found that funny because I was watching a Discovery documentary a while back about when they built the causeway. They only accounted for 3 inches of curvature through that whole 25-mile stretch.
Yeah, I read that as well. I think it was 2 inches, but yeah.
Was it 2 inches?
Two or 3 inches. I remember reading that same thing. In fact, I have it saved on the page that tells you that somewhere in my Chrome junk.
And that curve that sounded
I'm in the middle of something happening here with I was saving that stuff from the Ranty file. That's what was happening, and it's still doing so. Oh, it was zipping files. So apparently it's taking a minute. It's almost done, and then I can share. I surely don't want to overtax.
Is it in the chat? Well,
I don't know if it's in the chat. I'm trying to close this screen out that's saving the files that...
yeah, it's probably not something you want to save while you're live streaming or on a call.
Yeah. Give me 1 second here. I'm almost done. And then once I've saved it, if everyone else has saved it, then we can...
Walter, on that tweet...
Share it. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Morning, the ITV TV show this morning put out a tweet.
I saw you get in it.
So this guy, his Twitter handle is @beardphysicist. His name is Andrew Armstrong. He says, cosmologist and a teacher of physics for decades. People have fundamentals explained to them badly, and while they get good grades, they go through life not fully understanding how things work. I'd be quite happy to explain why their perception is wrong and correct it. So I came back and I said, that would be amazing. We have several times from which to choose. Then I gave him basically our schedule for the Ironworks, and I gave him our every Friday right here on YouTube.
and then, let me guess, you got no reply.
Well, 38 minutes ago, he says, I'm afraid I missed my window. Shame. Hit me up if you can reschedule. So
yeah, we can do any Friday.
Damn right we can do any Friday.
Yes, we can.
Friday, Tuesday, you name it.
We'll be looking for Andrew Armstrong @beardphysicist on Twitter. Maybe he'll head on over here one of these Fridays and we'll have a nice, good, long conversation about just why the Earth isn't what he thinks it is.
I'll go follow him right now @beardphysics.
Yeah, I just did as well.
Beard.
So hopefully he's listening in, and we appreciate your attention, and hopefully we'll be able to have that discussion. That would be awesome. And yes. Dr. Neil, photogenic dude, if you want to come on and chit-chat a bit, you're more than welcome to, since you listen to our morning show. Hopefully you'll listen to our afternoon show. All right, I think everything is saved here. Let me close this,
@Beard Physics has 9 followers.
It's a physicist.
Okay, all right. Let me try again. You might have to spell that for me.
English, John. Try it. English.
It's English, but it's 1:10.
I know.
It's like analysis.
Right, there we go. Well, he has 21 followers and 6 tweets.
You fired it up, Walt. Okay, you're good to go.
Well,
so are you implying that he's a shill that has only set up an account to follow and mess with flat earthers? Is that what that sounds like to you, Tom? It sounds like that to me. I mean, I'm just saying in my experience that seems to be a familiar.
I mean, his first tweet is from the Cassini Saturn.
I wonder if
some CGI bullshit flying around
his account. Anyway, sorry.
Saturn's room. So,
have I started sharing my screen? I can't even find
it. I've taken it away. Get yourself set up, and then I'll put it back.
My goodness, I didn't even know I started sharing. I'm so lost. Oh goodness, yeah. I'll let you know when I'm ready.
Yeah.
I'm doing this all out of order. I went to share screen first, and I should have found the actual channel that I was going to share first.
Welcome to Flat Earth Friday.
And look, if you only knew.
It's Iron Realm Media.
Negative flat horizons. I know that's the name. Is it not? There it is. I was about to think they had hidden him like they hide Ranty's name. I had to type the whole thing in. So, I am now ready to show. What shall we start with, ladies and gentlemen?
No, whatever you want to start, it don't matter.
Let's go with that zoom. Oops. Well, how about the one I accidentally clicked on?
That's fine.
Do you want to go to full screen, Walt? Yeah.
Yep. For a minute,
that's the causeway. That was a hot day. It mirrors out so fast.
Yeah. I like that music. Oh, wait, did I share sound?
No.
You're not saying anything, so yeah, it's just music. I'm afraid if I share it with you, it might break. But it's pretty music. Now, in the video, in the pictures that Soundly shares, that little slight hump, which I call Jeter's hump, looks like a ramp that Bob Knievel will be scared to jump.
Walt, your mic went out. Double check your connections.
Did it?
Yeah, you cut in.
You got real quiet, kind of cutting in and out a little bit.
You say that hump doesn't look as steep as in Soundly's images in the CGI rendering of a globe that they produce for you. But even though you can see some distortion in it there, can't you?
Yeah. It mirrors out real bad right there.
So this was, are you hearing me?
Yeah, we can hear you much better.
Hot day or a cold day? I didn't see what date this was.
That was just a couple weeks ago.
Just a little while ago? Okay.
Just a few weeks ago.
Because it definitely looked really wavy, especially that pole.
Yeah.
That long. Yeah, it's really like bending almost, like it's waving, literally.
Mm.
And see, as you faded back in, wait, let me back up. Oh, shoot, I knew I'd miss it. Replay.
I have a better tripod and all now. I can get better footage next time.
Shoot, I'll miss it again. Right. Yeah, right there as you start coming out, you can see it's even this closer side that's closer to you is doing it. See it over here? Are y'all seeing my mouse?
Yeah.
Yeah, over here to the right. See? Isn't that the mirror band carrying through?
Yes, it is.
I do believe that's what that is.
I'd say it's probably a little bit higher.
So even at this angle where it's facing us, which again is like this, and sound these pictures with cars precariously clinging to a 12, 15 degree incline. Anyway,
that's still quite a few miles away from where I was at, though.
All right, let me go to another video here if I can. There it is. I know, I can do it. All right. This one? You tell me which one.
Either one.
All right, let's go there.
All of these really is just me playing with the camera when I first got it. I'm still trying to learn the settings on that thing.
Yeah, from our buddies that have gotten these cameras, we know it's not easy.
Whoa, I hate to be an arse. Can you just go back to that last place you paused it on the other image? And you know...
Sure, 30 minutes later. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh, wait.
I was kind of thinking on it.
That's cool. Cool. I'm going back. I really can.
You know, I was talking about in my Lego Pontchartrain images. So wait till it gets close up. And I was talking about positioning in the lens, how it achieves certain things. Because, you know, the lens is acting as your eye. Wait till it's just scroll. There you go. That's fine. If you look at the apex of the bridge and to the left of it, and you can see the struts underneath. You can actually see the point of the mirror band, because in that shadowed area you get the apex of the triangle.
See, I was wondering about that little angle myself, how it's angled here and angled here.
So if you see there, and if you were to draw a straight line across the screen through that apex, you can see that actually that mirror banding, if you go across to where the road is, so draw a straight line from the point of the triangle. Yeah, go across. If you go across all the way to where the road is, can you see that it's actually really high on the road as well?
Yeah.
And I think actually it's probably not that high on the road.
And this is weird how on the other side we see the bridge all the way till this railing blocks it, but on the closer side you don't see it. There's like an area here where
it's blurring,
something's going on.
So.
And again, that weird angle of things, it seems to be the effect. All right, let me go to another.
Sorry, anyway, that was just.
No, that's good. I'm all about digging in deep. Let's see. Go back. And yeah, I like these. Just one where you go out and then in.
At this interlude, I will say ta-ta.
All right, John. Thank you so much.
Cheers, guys.
I'll just hit display while we're all saying
goodbye. I've got to the point where I can type, but I can't talk. So
right, the window is closed.
Yeah.
All right, brother.
That pool window has closed. Take it easy, guys.
We'll talk to you later. Tomorrow. I'll be popping in live off and on tomorrow from the event, so just pop in if you'd like.
All right, John.
Ta-ta for now.
Right.
What? So what's the weather for tomorrow anyway then, Walt?
They were losing?
He's probably muted. The forecast is not good, as I recall.
Yeah, I think he said it was going to cloud up sometime in the morning.
So how's the response been, Jason? I know there was some sort of dramatic issue with
Hello.
different groups.
Oh, he's back.
I'm back. I was having issues trying to get back in. I don't know, probably oversharing my stuff is causing it to probably drop the call. If I do, I'll be back. I'm trying to see. I should mute and then get out of. Oh, something's going on. Hang on.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, there was a little bit of drama because I got Mark to do the promo video, so a couple of people canceled.
Everybody's looking for something to bitch about. I wouldn't sweat it too much. How's the positive reactions been? Getting a lot of good positive reactions?
Yeah, it's been a lot more positive than negative.
Good.
So yeah, I actually have not even engaged in, in the negativity part of this. At first, when you told me that, was going to ask why that wasn't even an issue, and then it was like, why even bring more drama into it? People make their choices.
The negative people won't turn up, mate. They're just keyboard warriors, aren't they? Just with.
So, unfortunately, the system is what it is that we're involved in, and some people just aren't happy with certain people, I guess. I don't know, whatever.
But how much
I'm glad that it happened, because if you hadn't made that video, I would not know and wouldn't be going to meet you tomorrow, so whatever. I'm happy about it.
Yeah, I got more people to come by doing that than... Because I tried 3 weekends in a row to get people to come out there. Because I was going out there playing with the camera when I first got it. Nobody showed up, so I figured I had to do something different, and now I got Mark to do the promo, and
that's exactly what Chris Cox. Yeah, Chris Cox in Oregon said he didn't. He did 2 or 3, maybe even 4. Elaborate, like let's go hike, let's go meet at this park, let's go do this. 1 or 2 people would show up. He finally had Mark make a video. Boom! It was the big one I went to, and there was 30 people there. So yeah. I hope it works out that way for us tomorrow. And if, like I said, if it's just you and me and Richard, we'll have a blast.
Yeah.
But at least you're not going to have that judginess and all that negativity hanging around. The negative people don't show up. Money well spent.
Indeed.
Right. Yeah.
And that was a turn of phrase. I didn't mean anything by money well spent.
Nope.
Those judgy bastards are going to jump all over.
Rather than
I'll
me
tell you what, Josh,
share another video, Adam, would you like to try to do it, or is that going to make your system? Yeah, that's going to tax you.
Let's test that.
I'm just worried it's going to crash.
In terms of money well spent, though, guys, and meetups and stuff. I look at the money I pissed away here just buying stuff. It's great. The images I'm putting up on for the YouTube. That's just all the time. It was meeting up with people. You know what I mean? And I bought that as memorabilia. Do you know what I mean? Because it's a great thing you've organised, mate. You know what I mean? And whoever turns up will, and hopefully plenty do. Do you know what I mean? But whoever does turn up will be grateful for the what's the right word? The fellowship, for want of a better word. It's great to just sit among like minds and chat for a bit. It's a bit like here in the realm when I met these guys. It's just great to be able to not have to start with apologetics.
Man,
it just sucks to
it.
find out you're leaving after this all about to happen, man. You're moving away from us. It turns out. So
yeah, sucks, but I'll still be putting out videos when I get up to Tennessee.
Well, you're officially in the realm now, my friend. So yeah, you're welcome on anytime. Just we'll stretch the iron realm across to Tennessee.
Man, I can't wait to get back on Lookout Mountain now that I started looking into flat Earth. Last time I've been there, that was 6-7 years ago. I wasn't even thinking about flat Earth back then. So that's going to be fun going back there now with the knowledge I have about flat Earth.
Right.
That didn't even click. You can see 7 different states on top of that mountain. So
that's a crazy thing. I can't wait to see that video too, man.
I should be able to zoom in on each landmark with the P900.
7 states, but it's flat for sure. I mean, but it's a ball for sure. Sorry.
Yeah, you're so high up, you can see around that much curve.
Right. You're basically out in space at that point, right?
Yeah. That's far above sea level, and those landmarks is so much further below sea level. The math works.
Uh-oh. I keep losing my floaty screen here, and I can't mute and unmute. I apologize. Why does my floaty screen go?
I want to let you know that was me vaping Ace. I'm trying to hit it on the mute, but sometimes I forget. It's subconscious. I don't even realize I'm doing it until it's too late. But you've heard maybe 10% of the amount of vaping that I've done, so silver lining.
Before you go into vaping, I've got, before I start to fade, just a couple of bits. An apology to start with to Rob Durham and Dave Marsh. It's been another crazy week, and I know I said I'd get in touch this week, but if you can forgive me, sir, I'll be in touch next week, guys, and hopefully we'll take things forward from there. I'm looking forward to that, but it's just like I said, settling back in and realising how much work from my normal job I'd neglected in the build up to the conference. It's been a bit of a catch up, so hopefully I'll catch up with you guys next week. I saw Dave in the chat earlier. There's one other thing I wanted to just give a quick shout out to, and it wasn't part of the Nathan's kind of flat Earth debate stuff, but it was his science versus scientism kind of thread.
Great stuff.
Yeah, the double slit started me off thinking what the bloody I was going off well before flat Earth, and Quantum Eraser gives a really fantastic presentation. There's a little bit more to it than just the double slit. It's has a good overview of scientific method, what is experiment and what are scientific categories, for want of a better phrase, and it goes on to then kind of more modern double slit experiments which really do mess with your head, and it's much too late to even try an explanation of some of the determined path rate stuff that is done in this. So yeah, a really big shout out. If you've got an hour or so to spare, it's well worth the time. You sound like Darth Vader, John.
So sorry.
That's not me.
And I'm on mute with my damn, like I said, the floaty screen that usually is here when I'm trying to talk to people in the chat has disappeared, and I'm sure it's something I did when I was sharing the screens. But I have trouble muting and unmuting because I have a fan going. Shut up, it's too late. I can't even function with this. Alrighty, well, for sure. We'll miss you, sir, tonight, now that you're leaving us. We're glad you joined us today, Adam. It's been great. Tomorrow, I will have the phone and be streaming to Iron Realm from the phone, but unless someone is live on an OBS thing, I really have no way to, bring others into the call or anything like that, except the people that'll be physically there with me. It'll be kind of like you with the Iron Sticks at the event. So
hopefully somebody will live stream for us.
And I'm sure, well, you could, most cell phones do it these days, so I'm sure we'll have a couple of people out there doing things. But for sure, I will be popping in and out at some point. So, and as far as tomorrow's timing, again, I know some people that have said they are coming are going to be driving a bit, so noonish. It'll be hot. It'll be, rain wrapping up, cloudiness. We're not really sure. It's changed 4 times since I found out about this a week ago. Every time I've looked at the weather for this day, it has been something different. Louisiana, if you don't like the weather, just wait. It'll change.
That's right.
Well, before I do go then, I know you didn't want any stick on stick.
I'm going to pull mine back out. You better stop.
There it is.
Whip it out.
Wait, mine gets longer.
I'll just move those. There we go.
Oh no, man, it's got some length to it.
It's got length. Adam's at
girth. No, it's about girth. But it's not. Length isn't bad here.
I'll tell you what, mate.
And the show degraded so fast.
I'll tell you what. If we are degrading it, mine looks more like a rabbit.
Indeed, sir. Yours could will damage.
Yeah, I'll just sit here with my mic in my hand.
Yeah. If I can give you just a little tip for the iron stick, get a little attachable pouch as well. There's nothing wrong with something hanging low.
Always have the attachable
just pouch. Tip, Adam.
Guys, have the best of luck and best of fun tomorrow. I hope the weather favours you. Get low, and I'll
Indeed.
I'll be listening in. I am going to settle down, but I'll still be sat here, I think. Guys, have a good one. God bless. Good night, yeah.
All right, sleep well, Adam. Call me if you need me. I'll be around. Have fun at work.
Nice meeting you, Adam.
Time to quit slacking.
And you, mate. Have a cracking day tomorrow.
Thanks, man.
All right, sleep well, Adam. Much love. Be well. Tell Marie we said goodbye.
Yes.
She's not back till tomorrow. And so,
well, then enjoy your last night alone.
Yeah, that's it.
Laying in bed, handling your iron stick.
Yeah. God bless. Good night, guys. I'll see you later.
Good night, brother. Love you.
See you, Adam.
Oh.
Yeah, it is the Adam Meakin. Is it all still one word on that channel? I don't remember.
I believe it is.
I think the THE is capitalized, and then Adam is not. I don't know. Let me go make sure before I tell you the wrong thing. Where is my channel to go to see channels? Yeah, it's been a long day, and I'm getting punchy. It is the Adam Meakin, all one word, and the THE is not capitalized. It is just the Adam Meakin, Meakin.
All right. I'm gonna find his channel.
And I don't know. I guess that's about it. Anybody that's listening tonight, tomorrow, before the event, definitely get out there, man. We want to make it big, and anyone who's listening to this after the fact, that somewhere else on this channel you should be seeing some amazing videos from the event itself. Look, I'm time traveling. Woo! All right.
I'm gonna be there early cooking, so if anybody shows up early, I'll have something cooked.
Just gonna have breakfast ready.
Yeah.
That's what's up, man. Well, we will get there as early as possible. I don't want to even try to make a promise on time because I tend to be very non-time aware. I don't see how you people deal with that stuff, but I did my best. Anyway, I will get there as early as possible. It'll probably be pushing that noonish mark, I'm sure.
No, that's fine. I got to get there early, save that pavilion, especially if it's going to be raining tomorrow.
Well, again, as I looked a while ago, the rain apparently isn't happening now. I mean, that's the last thing I should do before we go is one more check of the weather.
Yeah, I figure.
So, it is Saturday. 88 is the high. 70 will be the low tomorrow night. Real feel of 96. 3% precipitation. Humid at times with clouds. Sunrise is 6:09. Sunset at 7:45. Moonrise is at 4:28. Interesting. Daytime moon footage.
Oh, really?
Oh, yes. All through the day. It won't set until 5 o'clock. And then what else? Let's see. Temperatures. Oh, astronomy. What is that showing us? Stargazing forecast for Friday night is very good, and for Saturday night is very good. So apparently the sky is going to be decently enough clear for us to do stuff.
Right on. As long as it don't get too hot, I think we can get some good footage.
Mm-hmm. The outdoor barbecue forecast is at an 8 and a 9. Those are excellent and very good.
Oh, yeah.
I'm excited, man. I can't wait. If you guys have not checked out Jason's channel, it is Flat Horizons with a Z at the end. Be nice and accurate with that spelling. I had to type the whole thing out again. Because you know how YouTube likes to treat channels with flat in their name.
Yeah.
When I type my own channel in, it brings up 4 other channels of debunking before you see my channel.
Yeah.
It's always
cool. Everybody in chat, I see Ace has joined us since I was not there. Zach is there since I was not there. Stuart. Bob's still hanging out. Thank you, Bob. Flat Earth Viking, thank you for hopping in. Trouble About, hello there. And Stuart, I'm probably so far back you people have left. If you haven't, thank you for being there. And if you have left, then thank you for being there as well. I'm rambling. It's time to go.
Right, I think it must be time to go.
Yeah, I'm rambling. I need food. Jason, is there anything else you want to let everybody know?
I don't think so.
And you've already given out your number pretty much on every public venue there is. Do you want to tell everybody one more time in case they want to get in touch with you for some reason tomorrow, or if you had enough of
Sure.
bizarre 4 o'clock in the morning phone calls?
No, it's 985-500-4008.
There we go. Thank you so much, my friend. I will see you tomorrow.
All right, man. Looking forward to it.
Absolutely.
Lots of luck, Jason. Have fun.
Thanks, Josh.
And I guess I will bid you adieu as well, sir. Long day, early morning, very tired. Still have a few things to do, really, to gather up before tomorrow. So I will go get food happening and tell everyone thanks again. I have lost the chat. What did I do with it? Thank you, Jason.
All right, man. Good night, everybody.
Love you, brother.
I'll see y'all tomorrow.
Yes,
All right.
you will.
Good. Have fun.
Well, Josh, again, thank you, sir.
Thank you, Walter. Before we go, I just want to take a second. My son had a little reading last night.
Oh, awesome.
Up at a coffee house, sort of not too far from here, for his creative writing class in school. So he for a free coffee, he went up there and read one of his poems. I'm sure I couldn't get him to come read it on mic to let me be able to play it for you all, but I wanted to just read it real quick. I hear twinges of both flat earth and ball earth in this poem, and I think you will too, but I think, just keep in mind, this kid's only 17 years old. I just thought this was really awesome. The name of this is called Bittersweet. The grass is always greener on the other side. Little did you know that the meadow is filled with mines, and if you read between the lines, you'll find that each and every one of us is almost the same, with a different face and a different name, playing the same lame game, where we aim at the moon and take our shots. To test our mettle and show what we've got, we'll one-up each other, push each of us to new heights, our heads in the clouds, staring at the same bright lights. After all, you miss the moon, you land among the stars. But that's just wrong, because even the closest star is still very, very, very far. It's cold in space. I don't know why we romanticize it to this wonderful place where we reach our dreams and hit our mark, because space is vast, cold, and very dark. Personally, I feel like keeping my safety on, and here's why. Did you ever stop and think about who paved your silver lining? Is it God, the devil, or another person out there mining? Happiness isn't quite free. Quite typically, actually, it comes with a fee. As someone else spins their sterling edges on me, they get it bad and I get it happy. So it seems, to me at least. Truth is, there's plenty to go around. Most people just take their happiness and run straight it into the ground with a loud sound, and they frown and look down. Lamentations of tragedies past, constantly thinking of their lives are glass. And on that final note, the whole symphony comes down with a crash, the burden of life like a heavy mass upon your shoulders. Little do most people know that everyone is a smith. Life is silver, and the crucible smolders. So that just really, really moved me. I really got touched when he went out there and decided to speak publicly on that.
That was amazing.
So I just want to leave everybody with a little bit of 17-year-old poetry that fresh off the presses. And with that, I really got nothing. Not one damn thing. One damn thing. One damn thing. Except a horrible echo. Horrible echo. Horrible echo. Actually, I kind of like it. Actually, I kind of like it. Actually, I kind of like it.
That's wild.
Yeah, I know what that is. We'll just scratch that. We'll just trust that there's music playing. If Walter had his guitar, he'd play us out with some music. If I was streaming on my OBS,
He would, except that he's got it cased up and was going to bring it tomorrow to the event. However, upon further thinking about the temperature, vast changes, and humidity, I thought against it. But it is still in the case over there. Would you like me to grab it?
Nope, I think we mucked up the beginning. We might as well just
muck it up at the end.
That's right.
We can do it. Wait, where's my... There it is. Here we go. All right, there we go. Good night.
Let me hear you bend it real quick.
I can't, man. I used to do all of it. The train, the bending. My mouth don't work that way anymore.
All right. Well, I think Adam is on the case. Adam is on his way out of the workshop, but I think he stopped just long enough to pull up some Gravity for exit music. Awesome. So that's what we'll go out to. Sounds great. Thanks, Adam, for all your hard work there on OBS. You're coming along quite nicely. Pretty soon I won't have to do a damn thing but show up on a Wednesday and a Friday. Just do my stuff. But with that, ladies and gentlemen, have a great rest of your weekend. We'll love you, and we will talk to you soon.
We're up pretty high, our heads are almost in the clouds, and their feet are chained to the ground with their chains of misery.
Of course, we're not hearing Gravity play, probably because I turned down the microphone on OBS.
They won't let go of me.
So we open OBS, and it should. John just loves this. There we go. And now I think if we do this, come here. What do you know about that? There's still no sound. Cool. Alright, well, we appreciate the effort. I'm not sure what the F just happened and why it's not playing, but just remember, they were lucky to have had a glance at you while you defy gravity. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. It's been a great Friday. We will see you all on Tuesday over there on Truth Frequency Radio for another episode of the Ironworks. Who knows what in the world we're going to do over there next week.
I can't pull it. I'm trying to pull it up, and it's not even in my list anymore.
We don't even care at this point. We're just going to get the F out. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in.
Thank y'all.
Writing in chat. If you haven't already subscribed to the Iron Roll Media channel, go ahead and over there and click that, smash that subscription button, as Nathan Oakley would say. And yeah, we'll see you all right back here next Friday at 10 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time for another Fighter Friday FringeCast. My name is Josh Corey. His name is Walt Johnson. Walt, have a great rest of your weekend. I love you.
I love y'all.
Thanks for another great Friday.
Thank you, brother. Thanks, everybody.
I'm lucky to have had a glance at you while you defy gravity.
Oh, I love it. Alright, I'm out of here. Love you, brother.
That's on that. Quick, Adam's not listening to the call. He's probably watching YouTube.
I truly can't find gravity in my own video list anymore. Did they take it away?
They may have.
I wasn't even going to try to bring up the Vagabond one because I never can find his channel. Ever. I should just further back before. I Call the plane from gravity. Are we still live by some chance?
Yeah, we are.
Let's see what I can do. Sharing the sound. Sharing the sound. Sharing the screen. That's risky. I'll probably break everything. I'm going to do it. Oh, look.